Welcome to the fourth episode of Max Speed Podcast. I'm here with my friends Jensen and Doug. And then we got the third wheels over here, Eddie and Corey. Say hi. Okay. All right. So, first topic, we're going to be talking about aliens.
Oh, my God.
So take it away.
They do exist.
They might exist. They certainly might. Let me break it down for you, Max, because you got two schools of thought here. You got yes, and then you got no. From that, I've made my own that is maybe. So that's where we're sitting now, but I'm not hearing from anybody else. I mean, Doug says yes. Max, what do you think?
They definitely do exist.
Thank you.
They definitely exist. There is no possible way that in this entire universe that we are the only people, exist 100%.
Oh, yeah. Aliens exist.
Okay.
You lose, Jensen.
That's all right. This is an entirely subjective topic, so...
Oh, it's not subjective because aliens do indeed exist. We have an ever-expanding universe. We can't be the only people here.
I'm going to say probably not the only people. Again, because you guys are answering a lot of definitive terms here. Can't and definitely exist and stuff. So.
Jensen seems pretty nervous about saying aliens don't entirely exist.
I said they might exist.
Jensen may be an alien.
It's possible.
Yeah. But,
Actually, technically, we are all aliens. We are on a rock flying through space.
do you think what do you think they might look like? You think they're like
That's a good question.
What if like dinosaurs?
They basically...
I saw a meme the other day where it was like Tyrannosaurus Rex was like, pull my hair, but he couldn't get to it because he's got short arms.
No. So
what an intellectual conversation.
this is a fact. I watched Men in Black. Stallone is an alien.
Sylvester
Right?
Stallone
Yeah.
is an alien in that movie,
Yeah.
so it's a fact that he's an alien in
Yeah.
this fictional
He's an alien.
movie.
In the movie.
You
the
know what?
movie.
I'm convinced. You guys have convinced me.
Wait.
That was a joke.
Well, actually, aliens, I think, would look something like us, except shorter, paler, and mushier.
I mean, your head can hardly speak
Well,
English.
No.
Well,
No. All of this is wrong. Let me tell you right now. Aliens are the advanced versions of us. Because they are more advanced than us because they live on different planets that have been through it. And we haven't. We're younger. Our planet is younger.
How do you
Haven't
know
you
that
watched
we're
Ancient
younger?
Aliens? You guys, educate
what if-
yourselves.
How do you know we're younger? Because if
Our
if
planet
there
is young
is young, but
Yeah.
how do we know that we're younger?
because we are on a young planet.
But that's why I'm saying aliens are shorter and mushier than us, because they've evolved
like
while they've
this, though.
devolved.
Cute.
They can use all their mental prowess and powers or whatever. They don't physically need to do things anymore.
well, do you
I
really?
love that.
if
do you-
they're
do
more
you-
advanced than us.
Hold on.
They're like crash test dummies.
I do believe that. I do believe that at one point they came. Look, listen. Like, okay, let's. The pyramids, right? There is no way that some of the things that were built on planet Earth were fathomable, like in Egyptian times and stuff. Like, no way. And Stonehenge and all those other places moving massive rocks. Like, there's just no freaking possible way. Anyways, go ahead, Max. Go ahead.
I was going to say, could just be a possibility that they're just really bored.
No.
Who's really bored?
The ancient Egyptians.
It doesn't matter if they're bored. How it's done is so precise. It doesn't fit that time at all. It does fit
Well,
with technology being from a higher being. It
Yeah, but
does
they
in
literally
that
had
way.
nothing else to do.
If I
They're
can-
just drinking beer.
It doesn't matter.
They didn't have beer. Oh yeah, let's go to the pub, a brewery. Yeah, no.
well, they didn't have pubs or breweries, but the Egyptians did invent marshmallows. But that's not what we're talking about here.
What?
Wait,
Okay.
what?
They did. Now, I'm going to back up here because I just want
No
to point.
way.
I want to point out that
They
you guys
did.
are saying that the pyramids are too advanced for their time. Now, for sake of argument, they were built a really long time ago. Now, on the road out here, there's like potholes everywhere. So us with our advanced technology can't make the road last more than a couple years. But back then, they what?
You know, some
It's
people
just stone.
It's stone, I know. I'm saying that we're really advanced.
some people think the ancient Egyptians were actually more advanced than we were, and there was some cataclysmic event, not like knock out the dinosaurs cataclysmic, but able to like set humanity back thousands of years.
What about? What do you think about the Romans?
Very European.
To be fair, European cars are very advanced. Okay, this is just no rhyme.
Very European.
Very European.
Damn
Southern
it, this is
European.
supposed to be a serious topic here.
This is serious. They are European, or they were.
Well, it really depends. Didn't they expand into Asia at the height of their empire?
They expanded into North Africa for sure, all around the Mediterranean.
Eastern Europe for sure.
Yeah.
I heard somewhere that the Romans were so successful that they only had at their peak. They only had to work like 2 days a year.
2 days a year?
Yeah,
Who are you talking about?
like the citizens.
Really?
Yeah.
So like,
Where'd you pull that fact?
Yeah, where'd you talking about that? Like,
Yeah, where are the
really
fact
rich
checks on
people or
this, Max?
something?
And then I also heard that they're still using some of their bridges that they made.
There's definitely still using some of the same aqueducts. that
Yes,
carry
I do
water.
believe they came up with the aqueduct,
Yeah,
as
they
Jensen
did.
said.
And
Yeah.
also like the
Modern sewer systems are based off of ancient Rome.
Isn't that crazy?
Yep, underground sewer systems.
what? And they also came up with what's it called? Like the arch with the keystone.
I mean, there's like
and
poop
they
still
built, like, a
rolling
wall
around.
or whatever.
I'm not sure about that one.
That one, I know they invented it. I don't know what it's called. And that's what a lot of the aqueducts.
Little
used to
known
look
fact,
like.
they also invented the toga party.
Yeah,
The toga bar.
they knew how to.
party.
They knew
That
how
might
to
have been the
rage. Europeans in general. Your headset.
Listen to everyone. Oh my gosh. Okay, anyways.
You can go to Rome today, and there's a lot less armor and swords, and a lot more like just restaurants and stuff.
Quite European, as
Yeah,
you might say.
Very European.
That's aliens. Fuck, right there.
Yeah, that's sign that aliens are real.
Well, another sign that aliens are in fact real is that for however many hundreds or thousands of years, whatever modern history dates back to, I couldn't tell you, technology was pretty much the same. We had wheels, we had carts, we had all this stuff. And then all of a sudden in the 1920s, we had engines, and then all of a sudden in the 1960s, we had computers, and it sort of took off on a trajectory like this because of alien technology.
When do you think that we got the alien technology? Was this like early 1800s?
I would say
or
they
something?
probably started sprinkling it in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and then at some point in the 50s or 60s, when like the big arms race started, they actually started making contracts with the government.
Talking about ancient aliens. Did you see that one episode about how like the Nazis got alien technology?
I have not seen Ancient Aliens.
I definitely believe they did because they definitely wouldn't have lost the war if they had some advanced technology.
Who the Nazis?
Yeah.
Well, the Americans
Well,
just stole all the smartest Nazis.
After-
It's
Yeah,
called
they
it's
did.
called NASA.
After
really
the-
did. They really did.
That's after the war, though.
Yeah, no, but they did.
But
the
during the
Nazis,
war.
the Nazis did have like the first rockets.
Yeah, the first.
right.
Yeah,
I may be wrong, but the guy who created the atom bomb was actually a German, but he had
I think you're
seceded
right.
to the United States during the war.
Now, his last name was Oppenheimer, so it
I
sounds
think you're
German
right.
as fuck.
Yeah.
So very European.
Now, yeah. So what happened is, yes, the Germans did invent the first rockets, the V1 and the V2, and the guy who invented them, Werner von Braun, did go to work for NASA and created the engines that took people to the moon for NASA. And they took a bunch of Nazi scientists during Operation Paperclip after the war. Yes. I don't think that was alien technology, though.
They were also very fashion forward. A lot of your popular brands of today were started by the Nazis.
But I find it interesting that a lot of people were, I don't know, speculating that the Romans were the Romans were really close to like inventing the car or inventing the engine. And if they had invented the engine, they're speculating that we would have been like thousands of years ahead today. But they fucked up and they collapsed.
Just the Romans in general, not like a specific person? Or?
Just the Romans.
Oh, just the Romans, oh.
Yeah.
Collectively, almost did the
Yeah,
opposite.
collectively. They fucked up.
When did the Romans move from Italy to Istanbul or wherever it was?
Istanbul?
They moved the capital of the empire, and that was the start of the downfall.
Oh, really?
I mean, I think, to Constantinople.
I don't know. I was watching like a really long, nerdy like history of Rome, and to me it just seemed, this was like a 3-hour documentary. To me, it just seemed like it was just a slow, steady stream of just mistakes, and just like it was like a slow decay, basically.
Well, yeah, Rome.
It was like they
fell-
basically just faded away.
Well, the Roman Empire fell to infighting because. Now,
It wasn't like an abrupt like boom, the
Well-
economy. It was just like it just.
They weren't like defeated in a war or anything. They like fell to infighting because they were supposed to be a republic, and then they went to like a dictatorship with all the Caesars. And then how they collapsed, I'm not 100% sure. But
It was just from what I know, it was just a slow decay, just slowly other kings and leaders and just stuff just started taking back the land, and
too much opulence, man.
pretty
There's
much.
also a point where your empire becomes so large that you just can't control it
Yeah, that's
anymore.
what happened. Yeah, there's just too many people that just started taking over the land slowly.
And then once you conquer that much land, you'd have now created so many more borders with enemies on them
Yeah.
to control.
You know what's really interesting? Talking about collapses, I started learning about the Bronze Age collapse. Is that what it's called?
The comics, the Bronze Age of comics.
Bronze Age. Is that what it's called? Bronze Age.
There is a
I'm not
Bronze
sure.
Age, yes,
Yeah.
but I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, like
there was-
Egyptian time. That's what.
Oh.
That's what it was. Yeah.
There was bronze involved.
Yeah. Like it's kind of scary because it's kind of similar to what's going on with COVID and stuff.
How so?
Like supply chain issues. That's how it collapsed. And outside force came in. They called them the Seamen. Seamen. Seamen, because they came from the sea.
Oh,
But they speculate they were like the Germans that came in and like just destroyed all the. destroyed
Max.
everything.
Okay, yeah.
so, wait, destroyed who?
Like historical documents and things like that,
the
like book burning
Egyptians
and stuff.
Yeah, the
The
Egyptians.
seamen destroyed all of their
Yeah,
stuff.
everything.
Wouldn't it be a
Everything.
lot easier for the Germans to cross?
No, not the Germans. They were like the Germans.
Oh,
No,
like
they were the
Germans.
seamen.
The seamen. Okay.
Yeah,
the
Germans
men
were
that
the
came
seamen.
from the sea.
Okay. Well, these like German seamen seem like they played a big role in history.
Well, you know what? I feel like these seamen actually may be the reason why we can't prove that there were aliens helping the Egyptians, even though there were.
Well, okay, now here's what I have to say. Do you think that the aliens are gods?
No, I just think they're super technologically advanced, superior to us, and we're kind of just like animals in a zoo, and they're watching us and going,
Yeah,
"Ah."
but that's what gods are. Like the gods are like almost magical when they come down, and they always come from the sky, right?
As a smarter man put it,
Like-
Earthlings are like monkeys with nuclear bombs, and aliens are like us to those monkeys with nuclear bombs.
Or
And we just they have to keep their eye on us to make
Yeah,
sure we
I
don't
wonder-
screw up.
I wonder if the aliens are going, oh no, they're about to press the red button. We
Exactly.
better intervene.
Yep, that's what it is.
Do you think so?
Yep.
or
That's a
I
good
g-
point.
to throw out an
Yeah, I
alternative.
wonder if we.
theory.
I wonder if we could even like mutual self-destruct.
On Earth.
Yeah.
Yes, we could.
Yeah, but if the aliens are real, they would stop us.
Oh, if they're real.
Yeah.
Because you guys just said definitely they're real, so if they're and another thing I like to point out to you guys is if there are other aliens, okay, this might be a difficult concept for you guys to wrap your heads around, but what if we're the more advanced people and they're still cavemen, hence why they haven't contacted us?
Oh, okay. So aliens is just haven't.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's aliens.
We
that
could be
exist
more.
like that.
Everyone really assumes that we're the less advanced species for some reason.
That's a good concept, though. Yeah, you never know about that. What if, like, I mean, we could be the only species that's trying to contact others.
Could be.
Or
Uh-oh.
what if we are so less advanced that they are so more advanced that they have died off and they're like they are us. Aliens are us.
Like, planted us here?
No, well, who knows? I mean, we don't know. We know nothing. We are so insignificant. We're this on this brand new planet, right? So these aliens, which are us, they're not like green people. That's just what we would envision being something that's not us because we think we're so advanced. We think we're like the superior, right? As people. We always think that. We think
Until
we're
you
better
watch
than
Keeping
animals.
Up with the Kardashians.
No.
Dude, the Kardashians are aliens.
Oh, stop.
We can go on and on about that.
I'd just like to point out that it was just said that
Oh.
we don't know anything
you
after
still
stating
going?
definitively that aliens exist. So
Okay,
it's
take it away
obvious.
again.
It's obvious. It's obvious. We're not superior. We're
far
not
as
like
we
the
know.
big macho people here. Like we're these little ants here.
Oh, yeah. Have you ever heard of the ant farm theory?
What is this?
About how, like, there's experts that think that aliens exist. They probably know that we exist, but they don't care about us because we're like an ant. We're like ants.
Yeah.
Like, they just don't,
I could
it'd be
totally
like,
see that.
it's like we know that there's ants in Africa, but we don't go, let's travel to Africa to see these ants, because it's like, so, it's like, why?
exactly.
But ants don't have nuclear bombs. That's all I'm saying.
I like to poke another hole in that theory.
aliens probably have freaking halos that can blow up the whole galaxy.
Halos.
Do you think
Around their
aliens have any
heads, or-
interest in us surviving?
You know, the halo, blows up the galaxy.
Yeah, I would like to say that if we were ants, we'd be able to lift 5,000 times our own body weight, and I can tell you that is not true, definitively.
I'm pretty sure it's about 30 times our own body weight.
No speculation on that front.
Although-
Jensen, you're too literal.
I'm just playing devil's advocate here because everyone's throwing on definitive facts, definitive opinions here. So
All right, so the only definitive is that there's really no definitive, but let's be real. Aliens have to exist with how big the universe is and how old it is.
probably.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. But the question that we're asking is if they visited us or if they had
Yeah.
some type of role in, like,
I think they've
You know.
visited us multiple times throughout history. I bet you.
I think so.
I bet you, like Eddie said when he was talking about Stonehenge and the pyramids and all those things, if you look at weird, significant events
Or, like,
over
religious
every
things.
thousands of years, or even religious things,
Yeah.
those are probably all just times aliens were interacting with us more than they normally
Yeah.
do.
yeah, and we're looking at them like, man, you guys are nuts, but who are we to say? They're probably like, oh my God, we've seen the God or whatever, but it was just an alien. Right?
Yes. 100%.
Could be.
Yeah, I can. Who knows? I can contest to that. I'm like, I feel like. Look, yeah, they have theories about like how they move those giant stones and everything like that, and how they placed them on. Like, but
It'd be
it's
hard.
yeah, it'd be super hard. I don't know, and these like super like landing pads and all this other shit.
hard.
Who knows? Who knows? What?
I'm with you guys. I mean, where do those crop circles come from, right? Because there was crops there,
on
and
now.
now they isn't.
Hold on.
So
No one ever thought of this about Stonehenge. I just saw this.
it's made out of stone.
What if it was just a big ass rock that they just carved out?
Yeah,
And the remainder was there?
Yeah.
it could be.
We don't know.
Max, it's possible.
Anything is possible.
Anything's possible.
Are you guys even going to mention the moon and how foreign and
yeah,
weird
the
the moon
moon.
is?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Well,
like a
every
whole different
planet-
planetoid if you think
Every
about it.
planet has a
Totally.
moon, though.
It's like a
No,
moon.
not necessarily.
Yeah, no. And
No.
our moon is weird.
Okay, you
Some
take it away,
planets are
Eddie, you expert.
Well, okay. Well, which planet in our solar system does not have a moon?
Pluto,
Uranus.
but Pluto's a planetoid now. Or
Yeah, Pluto's on a planet.
Pluto's not a planet anymore. Pluto
Real
doesn't
mature,
have
Max.
a moon.
Real mature.
Jupiter
Uranus
and
doesn't
Saturn
have a
have tons
moon.
of moons. I
Shove
don't
this moon
know.
up your ass.
Mars, I don't know.
Pretty sure Mars is a moon.
I think it has something to do with the mass of the planet to actually have enough gravitational pull to have moons. So the smaller the planets get,
I guess what
the
are
less
moons?
likely it is they have a moon.
What are moons made out of, though?
Well, there's
the
theories
matter
about
that-
this.
It varies.
Google this.
Some people think that the moon is space matter that accumulated somehow, and then, I don't know if this is true or not. But I do know one theory for sure is that people think there was an asteroid impact that actually took off part of our planet.
I know.
But
Yeah,
our gravitational pull held onto it, and they think that's the moon.
Yeah, I think that's like.
I think that's the most likely scenario.
That's fair to say. Yeah,
But
100.
our moon is made up of things like material that isn't on Earth at all.
It's like
It's
it came
foreign.
from- it's like-
Aliens.
It's like it came from the moon or something.
Aliens.
Not even that. It's not even around us. It's foreign. It's weird. It's different. And also there's a lot of weird things with the moon. Like the craters in the moon go a certain depth into it, suggesting that it's hollow.
Because it's
Have
probably
you
just
guys
a rock.
looked into this at all? With
Well,
NASA?
the
mean,
moon
come
is more of a
on.
rock. The moon is like a rock mass. The Earth actually has a core and produces energy and all that stuff. I don't think the moon does that.
What?
Yeah, no, it's
Well,
just, I agree. It's, just
dormant.
a rock.
It's a dormant piece of rock that is just floating around yeah, I do think it like came, like it's. I personally think like it's accumulating mass slowly over billions of years, whatever. But yeah, came from Earth. Probably came from Earth. My guess.
I think
Moon?
I think
Yeah.
Eddie's right. It's like a giant
It has no
snowball, and
materials
soon
from
enough
Earth.
the aliens are going to throw it at us.
Yes, it
when
does.
It's, big
It's a
enough.
rock. It's-
Just like any other
The moon is
snowball.
not made up from Earth.
Or it's going to be they're going to put it on top of the Earth, and then Mars on top of us.
Dude,
The Earth has.
that reminds me.
Snowman.
It's going to be like Zelda,
what, though?
Majora's Mask, where the moon's coming down. You know what I'm talking about, right? It's like,
No.
What? Please
Oh my
explain.
I didn't play the
Oh,
early
never
Zelda
mind.
games,
Never
but
mind.
if the moon ever impacted the Earth, we'd all be doomed. I can say that much.
Hate to
Probably
break
like
it to you,
really
Doug,
doomed,
but
right?
Very doomed. No one would survive.
We're already kind of doomed.
But now, if
Have you
I'm
seen
not
like the internet
mistaken,
recently?
the moon's actually going away from the Earth, isn't it?
No, just
The moon is circling the Earth. Actually,
No, I know, but no, seriously, look this up. I think the moon is like in a million or a few million years, the moon will just be gone.
well, that's
Like
going
it's
to be.
actually like going away from the Earth.
Well, that will be a serious problem. That will actually make the oceans rise.
Yeah, that sounds like a
yeah,
real
so
pressing
that's
problem
another
for us.
thing I
The
wanted
moons
to
create
ask.
the tides.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to ask though. Is there's a theory that the moon actually like affects the Earth? Is that the
The
like,
moon
real?
has to, the moon has to do with the tides. That's for sure
Really?
real. Yep.
Yeah. But
Huh.
my question to you guys that you probably haven't considered is if the moon's going to turn people into werewolves, do we even want it around anymore?
That's a good question. Yeah, we don't want it.
Who
around
needs that
anymore.
negative energy in their
Yeah.
life?
I would like to be a werewolf. I'm just saying. But let's take this back real quick to aliens, because that's what we're
aliens.
talking about.
Yeah.
And a point I wanted to make about the pyramids.
Yeah.
People actually think geometrically, the way the pyramids were constructed, they were actually able to harness the power from the core of the Earth. And another example of this is Nikola Tesla's Tesla coils.
It's Nikola.
Nikola Tesla's Tesla coils. Thank you, Jensen.
Explain what
Interesting.
how that relates to Nikola Tesla's coil.
Well, I've just heard that I don't know this for a fact, but like the pyramids, Tesla was trying to harness the power from the actual core of the Earth, and that was the point of the Tesla coils.
You know, I'm going to go ahead and disagree.
What's the actual point of the Tesla coils, Jensen?
The Tesla coil was supposed to pull energy out of the one of the atmospheres, like the stratosphere or something. And I was supposed to give people unlimited free energy, is what I read. Not sure. Maybe it was up, maybe it was down. All we know is he was doing something.
Could he have been harnessing energy from the core of the Earth?
He could have. He could have. So,
I have no clue, man.
Max, what do you think?
I don't know anything about this.
The moral of the story is Edison wasn't a good person. Okay,
Oh, Thomas Edison.
not a good person. Tesla, good person. As far
Okay,
as I've never met him. So, I
So
don't know.
now, the problem though was Tesla had a flaw theory of electricity, right? Or was that Edison? I can't remember. Because one of them was trying to make like a power plant every mile for electricity or whatever. It just didn't work.
So
One of them did like AC and the other one did DC.
Tesla was AC and Edison was DC, and the problem was
And Angus Young was AC/DC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem is that DC direct. So it's alternating current versus direct current. Direct current needed lots of thick copper wiring, and it lost a lot of energy in the transfer. So they had to have a power plant every couple of miles, and
like a massive like generator or something.
yeah, and AC didn't need that much copper, and they could, push a lot more current through the AC wires. So Edison's theory didn't work, and Tesla's did, but Edison was more powerful and ran a lot of smear campaigns against him.
Oh, that's right. So he stole his idea. That's what it was.
Well, he didn't necessarily. He did steal some of
or
Tesla's.
stole credit.
Well, he just tried to get rid of AC in the fact that he would electrocute animals to death
Oh yeah, I remember
with alternating current to prove it was more dangerous because it was more current,
like energy.
Yeah, and then also that's the reason the electric chair was alternating current, was to prove that it was more dangerous than direct current.
that. Yeah. So, did the Egyptians know about that?
The Egyptians may have known about that. We don't know. The men who came from the sea destroyed all of their historical documents, apparently.
Well, the seamen have a lot to do with this.
Yes, the seamen.
Seamen has destroyed many lives.
No, but what I was gonna say is it's
don't even
interesting
know.
because we truly will never know, because if Egypt was like modern, like our time, all that would have decayed away, like the metal structures and like the. Let's say if they had like power lines and stuff, that would have all decayed away. Like we would never
they
know.
say if, let's just say an asteroid hit the world somewhere like tomorrow, within 7 years, basically all of our technology would fail. After 3 years, I think gasoline wouldn't work anymore. And like weeds
Really?
and trees and plants and everything, you see how fast they grow. They would overtake everything.
Even gasoline wouldn't work.
Why
Yeah,
would-
Why is that?
gasoline has a shelf life.
What?
Well,
but I mean, so you're saying
are
that
you-
it wouldn't work after a certain amount of time? But we
Yeah,
could
it would just expire.
Well, okay, well, yeah.
Well, no. So, what are you talking about? The gasoline that's in circulation right now, or the gasoline in the earth?
Gasoline and gas pumps, things like that has
Okay.
to get refined to power things.
Oh, okay, yeah.
If we didn't
Yeah.
have a way to refine it, which we probably wouldn't,
Yeah, because then we wouldn't have power.
yeah,
to
we'd have
do
a
it.
finite amount of time to
Oh,
use like
okay.
fossil fuels.
That's why
okay.
you have
Coal would probably work, but that's pretty much the only thing.
that's why you have a diesel car.
What about power plants? Would power plants work? You think?
Depends on if you water them.
Is it a coal-fired power plant?
Just a. No, not.
Well, power plants need to
Not-
get power from somewhere
I
to
meant
generate
nuclear
power.
power. I meant nuclear.
Nuclear power?
Yeah,
as
that's
long
what
as
I
they
meant.
had enough nuclear material to keep them going, yes.
Because that seems unstoppable, like nuclear power.
That's possible. If it's fusion. Because fusion, it's ever increasing and fusing together.
Is that
Fission is
even
a
a
little
thing
bit
right
different.
Fu-
Fusion, nuclear fusion, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
a-
nuclear
Yeah,
fusion.
that's
Okay.
a real thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a real thing. It's going on right now. Pretty cool.
And it's actually very clean energy. People are just scared
Yeah.
of the idea because of, Chernobyl,
All the
5 Mile
mistakes.
Island,
Yeah.
the mistakes that have been made.
Yeah, there's been a couple things, but
Well, I was watching a documentary. I don't know. It probably came out like 10 years ago. It was called like I think it was called like the paradox of nuclear energy or something. And it's insane how much energy nuclear can give. Like they're saying, like just a little tiny block of nuclear energy could like power like all of Nampa and Boise.
Now, when we
for,
say
like-
a little block of nuclear energy, do we mean like plutonium or like an element? Which
Well,
I
don't
actually
know.
don't know.
I don't know, but they're just saying a little tiny block. If that could power for hundreds of years, like
it uranium?
a city.
you plutonium or
It's insane.
uranium, I'm not sure. I know that they're both nuclear materials. Actually, little known fact, the 2 nuclear bombs dropped in World War II. One was uranium and one was plutonium.
Huh.
And
That's
those were,
interesting.
I believe those then would be fission bombs, because I actually think fission is what we're actually able to do. So you have on the, periodic table of elements, the atomic number. Those are like 2 with a super high atomic number. And fission is just them breaking down into other elements. Then eventually you get carbon, and then it's nothing. So fusion would be the thing that I don't think humans have been able to master in any type of way.
Well, actually,
I don't know, though.
So I don't know how a nuclear power plant works, but I have I've read that at least in the first nuclear-powered submarine, the way it actually generates power is the heat. There's heat,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it boils water and creates steam, and a steam turns a turbine, and that creates energy.
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds
they're
right.
they're
That sounds
rods.
right.
They
Yeah.
put nuclear rods into
Yeah.
some sort of housing, like he said.
'Cause I
But
was-
then the issue is when those essentially expire, they need to put them somewhere because they'll be radioactive for 300 years, which is why there's a giant
Yeah.
mountain in the middle of Nevada where they house all of that nuclear waste. And that's actually real. I know that for a fact.
Well, and that's why I think, if I'm not mistaken, because you're right, Jensen. I was watching a little like short tutorial on like YouTube how like Chernobyl, like the Chernobyl thing happened. And yeah, you're right. They're like the rods.
Yeah.
They like create the steam, they create the heat, and that's like where the power comes from. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting because I think Elon Musk was talking about sending nuclear waste up into space, just like.
I mean,
Like that's really the only real like solution if you think about it. Just send it up into space and see you later.
It is certainly a solution, but you have to look at the environmental impact of keeping it here versus the environmental impact of shooting something into space. At what point does it offset and become better?
Well, if it's just going out into the middle of nowhere.
I'm saying that like if you keep nuclear material here and it isn't causing a lot of issues, but then shooting a rocket causes more issues, then shooting into space is going to cause more problems than just keeping it here. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Not really.
The cost-benefit analysis probably
Yeah.
really wouldn't work shooting something into space that
Yeah.
many times.
Especially-
We're producing way more
Oh,
waste
do you
than would be
think-
worth it to shoot something
Like
into
shooting-
space.
So are you saying that we would be shooting a lot of rockets out?
Yeah, I
at
think
once?
the time, money, resources, rockets blowing through the atmosphere, whatever it takes, the amount of power that would take, it's a lot easier to take it and bury it 6 miles under
See,
a
I
mountain
was
somewhere.
I guess I don't know too much because I was thinking that this was once every like 10 years.
Well, I
or
mean-
once every like 20 years type of thing, not like every day.
Well, I mean,
If it was every day, then yeah,
say
yeah,
if, they,
you're
if
right.
they could shoot like all of it at once, maybe that would work out. But
Okay, like keep it in a warehouse and
yeah,
then
but like if they have a finite amount of weight they can put onto rockets. Now the payload is really important. So I guess we don't know, but that would be the question. Was the what did you say, the cost benefit analysis? Yeah.
But it would be a good idea if it was like every once like 10 years or 20 years.
If it was
type of thing,
feasible,
right?
certainly it's a good idea. But
Yeah.
I don't think we.
I
in this
didn't
room-
expect it to be like taking out the trash every day.
Well, I would say, I mean, just spitballing here. If we could like start with the amount of waste that we're creating now,
Yeah.
and forget about the backlog that we already have, maybe that probably could work. But we already have a ton. I'm going to assume there's a ton of nuclear waste around the world. So you'd have to get through that entire backlog, and then you'd have to keep up with the amount that is produced currently. And so I would say, in my opinion, that is the issue.
Or you get artificial intelligence to figure it out.
Yeah, we got Skynet working on that right now.
Have you ever gone down that rabbit hole?
I'm not a
The
fan of
whole-
artificial intelligence.
Yeah? Why is
No.
that?
I've seen Terminator.
Dude, I think you're right, though.
I mean, I think there's probably, I'm sure there's probably more movies where it goes wrong than it goes right, but of course, those are movies, so I don't know.
That's the problem that a lot of experts are dealing with is trying to figure out how do you put safeguards on making sure it doesn't like turn on humans, because the moment it turns on humans, we're fucked.
Well, Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's true, especially with the how the world is interconnected via the internet and stuff. It would be like you couldn't put the genie back in the bottle. At that point, so.
you couldn't. But the most frustrating thing though is you look at AI right now, and there's a lot of potential to dude, it would make our life really good if it was on our side. But that's the problem. How do you make it to stay on our side,
But do we really want to make our lives any easier than they already are? Look where we're look at us.
I mean, some people do. Some people do.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it'd be pretty cool to have a robot to do the laundry and dishes and stuff, right?
I mean, it's true. It would be nice. After the last couple of days, I wish I had a robot to do my yard work. But, yeah, it's one of those things where it, again, cost-benefit analysis.
Yeah, I know, that's the problem.
At what point, because there's already AI doing, some stuff. There's algorithms, and I'm not sure if that's AI or, there are some... Right? I mean, is there AI? There's AI.
Oh,
right
yeah.
now. There's some AI.
I saw this crazy video the other day that AI has figured out how to decompose plastic within 48 hours. They figured out the best chemical, how to make the best chemical and stuff, and this bacteria basically eats the plastic away into nothing in 48 hours.
I know Jason Momoa would really like to read that article because he's Aquaman and he hates plastic.
But I mean, but I'm just saying, stuff like that's a major breakthrough because then, plastic wouldn't be demonized as much. If it could truly be degraded in a short amount of time, I mean, and reused basically.
All
100%.
I'm saying is AI. That might be all great to a point. But once you remove all of the adversity and hardship from people's lives and they stop being productive, they're lazy,
Well, and that's the
adversity
problem.
makes smarter, better people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Competition fuels innovation. You take
Yep.
that away, and what do we got,
But then it makes you wonder, well, then, if we have AI to do all the work we have today, who's to say that doesn't just spark new and, more complex jobs to do, figure out, things that we haven't even thought of, space travel and stuff,
So,
or things that we didn't even think about,
So I'll agree with you, Max. That is certainly something that could happen, but that's a very small percentage of people that would actually do that. Because you put AI into taking away or doing normal everyday jobs, there's far more of those jobs, I would say I would call them mundane jobs,
Menial.
So you're basically making the case that it would be like the iPhone times 100, it would just be even worse.
I'm making the case that there would be a select group of people to do bigger and better things with the help of AI, but you'd have the 90% that wouldn't be doing anything.
Yeah, so that's where the one debate about universal income comes in.
Universal UBI, universal basic income.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, in my opinion. Okay.
I just gotta fix this game.
Okay. Well, my opinion about universal basic income is that it doesn't incentivize anybody to do anything, so you're not going to get any people making creative ideas because there's no incentive to be creative. If you can't make money, or people want to make money, they want to get ahead, they want to be better than everybody else, like Jensen said, competition. If you take away the competition and the incentives to be better, nobody's going to try.
Yeah.
There might be one person in a million who does, but that's about it.
Yeah. Once you take away people's drive to, accomplish things and there's going to be some people who never really have that drive, but there's going to be a lot of people who do, my teacher in high school described it to me this way, if you come to school with your backpack and every day, you come into class and I take everybody's stuff, and every day you get a piece of paper, a pencil, and lunch or something, and no matter what you bring in, you get the same thing, and if you bring nothing, then you get the same thing as everyone else. You're going to stop bringing stuff in because you're going to get it anyways. So it's just going to stop people from wanting to do things or wanting to improve themselves, wanting to improve the things around them.
So then, so that's the thing that scares me because I think a lot of experts are afraid of AI, artificial intelligence, because basically it would turn us into like pet dogs. Like we would be reduced to just pet dogs. Like just existing without a purpose.
I'm just thinking artificial intelligence would make humans lazier, and we're already lazy enough. That's what I think.
I mean, you're looking at like the movie WALL-E, where everyone's super fat.
Yeah, you are. Yeah,
chairs.
We're literally just humans are just sitting there doing like just playing video games.
And
all
if you
day,
think about it, like that's progression. Like what they showed in WALL-E is like how we would turn into aliens. We get fatter, we get lazier because we don't need to do things. We can rely on technology for everything. Yeah. Our skeletal mass goes down, our muscle mass goes down. We're no longer physical beings. We're just blobs who can use our brains because technology does everything for us.
Yeah, and the other thing about that is, I mean, if you guys ever seen like Idiocracy, that movie, like we'd start to, we wouldn't, be making ourselves better. We'd be getting worse, and then you talk about generationally, we would slowly be getting worse and worse, and then we would have degraded to the point where we couldn't even, create AI, and then we couldn't stop it either.
Yeah. Do you think that's the future that's coming?
Well, if what I'm seeing around me is any tell, I do think people are getting lazier and dumber. I won't say dumber. The issue is that 30 years ago, people actually had to go out and research things, and if they wanted some sort of information, they had to look for it. We have little computers in our pockets that we can say anything we want to it, which is, don't get me wrong, it's a blessing and a curse. It's a good thing, but that's also why people are just fed so much information all the time, all day long, that everybody thinks they're an expert in everything.
Mm-hmm. And I also think there's somewhat of a disconnect from reality. When your reality is like TikTok or Facebook, and you don't really go out and experience it, or I mean, in some cases, no one ever goes through any hardship. People, you don't go into these situations that, grow you as a person. And when you're just in this virtual world, it's like, you don't really have a good idea of what's actually going on around you.
Yeah.
And it sets unrealistic expectations. Yeah. People are so used to engaging online and over the internet and things like that. There's no real repercussions for things you say online and over the internet. Yeah. People have forgotten how to act actually like in the real world with human beings and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you saw that a lot with like the riots, like people going up and like screaming in your face or throwing stuff at you, and then they like get hit because they're attacking someone. They're like, whoa. I'm like,
yeah, I've kind of forgotten about that life because I no longer really work with young people anymore. I'm mostly working with like old people. But yeah, when I was working at the news station, they would hire a lot of young people, and man, oh man, their skin was like super, like paper thin.
Right?
You just look at them the wrong way, and they would like try to get HR on your case. You're like, what the fuck? What is wrong?
People can't handle adversity anymore.
It's like, jeez,
they can't at all, and it's a pretty sort of scary to think about. I know that I grew up playing football. I know Doug played football, and then I spent time in the military, and it really is a it's not always going to be pleasant, but it grows you as a person. You go through that adversity and you learn and you get better, and when you don't have when you don't have to become better, you don't have the adversity that drives you. It's like it really does not prepare you for the real world in any sense.
Yeah.
Arguably, the best thing that can happen to a person is they fail at something, because when you fail at something, you actually have to learn from it and figure out how to succeed at it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, not only fail, but have someone go, hey, like directly tell you failed.
Yeah.
Like you fucked up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's college football.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't know I don't know what the station that I was working at. It used to, like when I first started working there, everything was normal, and I don't know what happened. It was around like 2016, 2017. things started changing, they wanted you to say like, don't say fuck, don't say like, say less, like no curse words, no more curse words. It's like, well, in the real world, how do you live life without saying a curse word? Like, it's almost impossible because shit happens. Like, you're gonna say fuck.
I'll say this. I think it's great if you can level the playing field and level the starting line. All of that's great now. But when you start moving the goalpost, that's when you start to have problems. And that's what society's starting to do.
Yeah, and it just got to the point where it's like, okay, so we can't cuss, can't do this. Okay, well, I'll try to like not cuss, and then we're watching the sensitive training, like, okay, so we can't laugh at trans women. Okay, so all right. That's just weird. Like, at the time, we're like, I never saw anything like that. And then it moved on to, okay, it's like now we can't post anything on social media, And then pretty soon it just got to and then COVID hit, and we're like, all right, now we can't even show our face. It's like, fuck this place. It just got too much. It just became too overwhelming.
I don't know. I have respect for everybody, and whatever walks of life they're in, whatever they want to do is fine with me. I don't care. It's just when it starts impacting my day-to-day is the only time I really have any issues.
Well, yeah, that's the problem.
I think it's great. We live in a country where people can do whatever they want.
That's fine.
And that's awesome, but don't start infringing on my rights and making me do things so other people feel better about themselves.
Yeah, that's the problem.
If that's my personal well-being and my personal choices, just let me handle that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but if you're a dude one day and then the next day you come in looking like a woman, people are gonna talk about you. You can't stop that. Good on you if you can embrace that, but you can't prevent shit like that in the workforce, That's just me.
Yeah. It's certainly, especially when, and now this is not something that I've personally really experienced, but like when people are like, oh, you misgendered me. And it's like, well, if you can change your gender like every day or every hour of the day, like you can't get upset if someone messes up.
Yeah, exactly.
If you...
Yeah, the pronouns thing is a whole nother weird, bizarre, the he, him. Or, you see the he, him, or...
I'll take another crazy one is they're getting into, like, there was pronouns, and now there's some... On the internet, I've seen something called, like, neo-pronouns, where it's like zim, za, and zer, and I was like, this is, like, lunacy. I'm like, what? I was like, what are you guys talking about?
Yeah, have you seen the TikTok videos?
I have seen some.
Jeez.
I'm not on TikTok, but I've seen some of the videos. It is...
China runs TikTok.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
TikTok is a no-go.
Dude, so here's the thing. Here's what's crazy about TikTok. In America, China has deliberately switched their algorithm to show you just dumb shit. Mm-hmm. But in China, their algorithm is showing productive stuff.
Yep, that's true. And TikTok, I believe in China... It may even be their internet, but yeah, like you said, Max, TikTok is all intellectual. I believe it's after 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. at night. Kids can't even access it anymore.
Yeah, China. And I hate to give China credit, but I think they're ahead of the social media game. Like, they know how dangerous it is. Like, they know, like, there needs to be limits. They know how to correctly, change the algorithms and stuff. Like, we're too much in the Wild West with our social media. Like, we're
too much in the virtual world. No one has their feet on the ground anymore, and that's a big problem.
Yeah, that is a huge problem.
Too many people are plugged in all the time.
Yeah.
When you spend more of your day scrolling through your news feed than actually like talking to people or doing something, you have a problem.
Yeah. Like, I scroll through the stuff and stuff, like, I'm on social media, but there's parts of the day where I'm like, this is my part of the day. Like, after work, I hardly go on. I'm just doing my own thing and stuff. But yeah, there's other parts of the day when I will get on, but I really, try my best to not let it control my life,
Yeah, I think there's everything in moderation. You know, if you want to, I go on Facebook, you know, I keep up with my friends. I see funny things on there.
Yeah.
But, you know, after a while, I'm like, you know, I got to talk to someone. I gotta go read a book. I got to do something.
Yeah, do something. Yeah.
You know.
But some people, it's sad though, because some people you could tell like that's their life. You know, they're just on it all the time.
I'll tell you what I think is an even bigger problem is education. I don't know if you guys seen videos of like on the street videos where they ask like a simple question, like, how many continents are there? They're like,
Dude,
2, and I'm like, what? Or
Dude, I saw a wild one where a woman didn't even know if the moon existed.
She didn't? Okay, that's the craziest
like
one I've
they
heard.
go, do we have a moon? And she goes, like, do we have a moon? Like, what? Like, that is bottom of the barrel.
It is. I saw one that was like, someone was like, you know, who fought in the Civil War? And the lady was like, it was the Germans versus the Nazis. And I was like, what? Like, that is insane that people,
Wow.
or, you know, just like simple things like, you know, how many states are there? You know, how many letters in the alphabet? How many? I'm like, man, I'd win a ton of prizes if someone asked me questions on the street.
Well, to be fair, though, those videos, you have to take them by a grain of salt because they probably interview like hundreds of people a day, and then they cherry pick the most dumbest people, you know?
It's tough.
And then you could also make the case that sometimes when people are in front of a camera, they really cannot think. Like, they get nervous. Like, I mean, there are people who they freeze up. They don't know what to do.
Well, the public school system in the United States is just sort of, the problem is, and it sounds harsh, but the whole No Child Left Behind thing, like, there's
That
no
didn't
incentive
work.
to keep people back to actually, so they can actually learn things. You can't, I don't even think you can hold kids back anymore.
No,
They're
you
just,
have to hold kids back.
do you
Well,
have to?
Yeah,
I don't
you
know.
have to.
I thought you
Right, no,
basically
no.
just shuffle them through the system so they graduate and then go,
No,
good luck.
you're right.
Yeah,
no, you're right.
yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm
he's-
just saying you have to.
Yeah,
in
you
order for them-
should.
Yeah, you should.
It would be better for them in the long run.
That's what happened to me. I had a second grade teacher who was not good, and my parents held me back. And on top of that, they had me go through like tutors and shit. Dude, if I had gone through the government like no left behind shit, I would have been a Neanderthal. I've been like really fucking dumb.
Yeah, I mean, they're more about like just getting people through than them
Yeah.
actually learning anything. And I think at least what I've heard recently is it's a lot more about like race and like, you know, taking away white privilege and it is about
That's
anything
weird.
else. I mean,
But like me personally, I was held back. I had to do a lot of like tutoring and stuff. Yeah, it was embarrassing. It sucked. Like I lost a lot of grade school friends that I don't know anymore. You know, stuff like. But that's the thing. Like I don't fucking care, right? I don't care anymore. All I'm thankful for is that they did it, and I'm a lot better off than a lot of the students that were just shoved through.
I mean,
And the other thing that's super unfortunate is just like the profession of teachers now they don't pay them enough. It's not a sought after profession. There's very few of them who are actually doing the job because they love it and they want to teach kids.
Yeah.
it's true. You know, like I think, you know, a lot of teachers need like a master's degree and they get paid like, you know, what, 30 grand a year or something.
Yeah.
There's it's not sustainable.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it depends on where you are, but still.
Yeah,
I mean-
my wife, she has a teaching degree. She never ended up teaching because of essentially really the pay. They make it super difficult to actually get a job. Then they underpay you and they overwhelm you with kids because classrooms are too full. And
Yeah.
now she's in nursing school.
Guys, I have to take the most major piss of all time.
My God.
I'll be right back.
More than I was
I'm
hoping
back,
for.
bitches.
All right, well, here's a question I was actually thinking about today because we talk about people getting lazy and things like that,
Okay.
and this brings me back to our workout this morning.
Okay.
In the 50s and 60s and whatever, you always see those old movies, and the whole thing was climbing the rope in gym.
Oh yeah.
I never had to climb a rope in school. Did you ever have to climb a rope in school?
That was never my thing.
PE has always gotten easier and easier, and kids aren't expected to do anything physically hard for themselves anymore. I mean, how many people, let's just say out of 100 people in the United States, how many of them do you actually think could climb just if you had a rope, they say climb the 15-foot rope and ring the bell. How many people you think could actually do that out of 100?
Probably 1%.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Maybe like Oh, okay. So like maybe let's just say somebody does little bench press here and there. They can climb a rope, yeah. Full body, like they can just do it, no technique, sure, probably, but like proficiently over time, probably less than 1%.
I mean, I'll even talk to that because I.
Oh, did you get me a beer? Oh, sweet.
So I know I never had to climb a rope in gym class or in PE or anything, and it wasn't until I went to like boot camp where I had to climb a rope, and then even then I had to climb it one time I had to climb a rope, and that's it. So it's like it's one of those things, and then we never came back to it. So I'm like, great, you taught people how to do this skill, but now you're not using it, and it could be. I mean, I guess it's not that important, but it's.
Back, Max.
Well, if you want to get on the far end of things, though, in the most basic sense, a human being, the ability to actually climb a rope and know how to do it would actually be super important in survival situations and things like that. Like to climb or like use their bodies to do things like that is way more important than laying down on a bench and being able to press however much weight.
That's true.
Yeah, no,
Well, I say that's why I love CrossFit. It is functional and it helps you do things functionally better.
You could do things like Mario behind you.
No, man. Okay. Like I'll say this, like I was explaining what CrossFit was earlier today to somebody, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm trying to get in the gym, but I really want to get into a routine. That's fine, that's fantastic. Like I'm in a routine. I go to 5:30 class p.m. You go to 9 a.m. Jensen. Doug, you're consistent at 5:30, 6, whatever it may be. I was like, yeah, I've got a routine, but it's not like, today's chest day. Mm-hmm. Oh, today's squat day. Like, no. When I went to the CrossFit gym today, like, okay, shit, I guess we're climbing ropes today. Shit, I guess we're flipping heavy ass tires. Yeah. Like, that's the inconsistency is what I like, but we're consistently going. You know what I mean? Yeah. And strength training and gymnastics and pulling, pushing, squats, all that type of stuff is just. I feel like it's I'll say this like. Sorry, I didn't know if we were going down a weird tangent or not. But like, I feel like CrossFit has definitely made if you're consistent and you're like, you are far beyond the average Joe that just goes to the CrossFit or to like just the regular gym, like
the Globo gym.
yeah, sprinting. You name it, like a CrossFitter can most likely do it. Yeah, like there's maybe not swimming so much. I don't think that we dabble too much into swimming, just for obvious reasons. But I think that's the only element that we really don't like practice on, just because it's like that's like a singularity thing that a lot of people are afraid of water or this and that. There's a risk attached to that also. So.
And you just need to be a high-level athlete who has access to those types of facilities.
I mean,
the everyday person doesn't have a pool they can just like. The everyday CrossFit gym doesn't have a pool they have access to where they go, hey, everybody meet at the pool at 5:30 p.m.
Yeah, no, that would be next level shit right there, dude. That'd be like if CrossFit 2 says, hey, like Wednesday. All classes are going to be held at the rec center. Like we're doing a workout at the pool. That would be next level shit right there, dude.
That would actually be pretty sweet. Though.
That would be really cool.
I love swimming.
You're good at it, Doug?
I'm good at swimming,
I
dude.
don't know about you guys, but me and Max have actually done a pool workout, and it definitely throws a monkey wrench.
Okay, wait a minute. This pool workout. This pool workout I saw.
Not good.
This pool workout I saw. He was clinging to the side for all his life was worth, just like truffling aside. He was in water.
Take me to do a pool workout anytime.
Okay, to be fair, I would say
it was rough. What was it, Jensen? It was it was like 10 rounds for time.
Okay, no. I know what it was. It
was all right.
21, 15, 9, and it was man makers.
Classic.
And then laps in the pool. So you're looking at 45 laps in a pool. that is just a really long workout.
Oh, you
Yeah,
meant
that's
21 laps
hours.
in the pool?
That's
too?
an hour workout.
Not just like
21
man makers.
It was straight up. It was straight up an hour workout.
21:15.9. Yeah, that's why you see Max on the struggle bus over there because he's doing 45 laps in the pool.
Dude, it was only 3 feet deep, and he was still holding on to the sides.
I'm not that good at swimming.
The structure of the workout was not there, but the actual workout, it certainly throws a wrench into it. I've even found this when we do I found this when we do like our paddleboard workouts. I don't know if you've ever been like breathing heavily and then you fall in the water. That is like the worst feeling ever because you're breathing heavily and now you can't breathe and then you have to get to the surface.
Well, dude, I'll tell you this, Jensen. I don't know because I don't swim very well. I just wear a life jacket.
Oh my gosh! Again, see, they're talking about essential life skills. Swimming is an essential life skill.
I was fortunate enough to basically like grow up in the water, so
Yeah, I grew up with a pool, so I swam a lot. So
For me, it's treading water. Like I could swim, I just don't know how to tread. The moment I stop swimming, I just sink like a rock.
you don't know how to tread water.
No.
if you can't shed water, all you got to do is float.
So is that how you? Do you just lay on your back? Is that what you do?
No, you usually,
I mean, it kind of depends.
it depends on what you're wearing.
That would be like
probably.
my last resort.
In a survival situation, you can trap air in your clothes that helps you float. But if you're just talking about swimming in the pool, you're not probably not going to wear clothes for a swimsuit.
And then you have the whole debate of freshwater versus saltwater. I grew up 20 minutes from the beach, so I was at the beach all the time. The more salt in the water, the more buoyant you are. It's easy to float in the ocean.
Yeah. So yeah, it just depends.
We're talking about Lake Lowell.
Lake Lowell.
You should just never go into Lake Lowell because it's gross. Problem solved.
But the surfing's fun.
Okay, well, to each his own.
Jensen, you've never been surfing yet.
No, man, not really.
Oh, dude, you need to join us. Well, it's too late this summer, but next summer.
It's too bad. Really too bad. Not really an aquatic sports kind of person.
Dude, you get into it. It's fun.
We'll see. Maybe
Beer's involved.
Beer's involved. Probably would fall down a lot in that instance. They're like, here's a sport you never done before, and you should start drinking. It's gonna work out well.
Beer is always the right choice.
Have you gone surfing yet, Doug?
No, I haven't gone wake surfing.
You should try it. I think you'd like it. Now that you mentioned that you're good at surfing, or not surfing, but you're good at swimming, definitely something you should try. I think you'd like it.
Maybe if someone invited me.
Next summer. Are you going to say something?
Yeah, missed the mark on that one, Doug. Sorry, brother.
We'll keep you in mind next summer.
Well, hey, what were you guys talking about? Why I dismissed myself?
Well, we were talking about like the shitty education.
Basically, the fact that there's not enough adversity in today's society to actually like produce people who want to do things. It's just sort of contributing to the rat race, as they say. People just want to keep moving forward the easy way. Nobody has any incentive to actually be the best, stuff like that.
Wait. I guess I'm diversity and like, what do you mean by diversity?
Adversity.
Oh, adversity.
Like people need difficulty in their lives to like take themselves forward and actually succeed at things. You need to be told no. You need to be told no. You need to fail at things in order to actually get better.
Yeah. Like there was all that bullshit where it's like, we're not giving out first place, second place. Everybody gets a medal. All that bullshit where it's like, no, sorry, kid, you lost.
Well,
like try harder next time.
That's actually
like,
a very good point Eddie brings up, because this is a vivid memory in my head. I was in my room. It was I was maybe in high school, probably before high school, and I had all my trophies from Little League, stuff like that, participation trophies, stuff like that. There were a couple trophies from when we actually won tournaments in baseball and stuff. And my dad basically came in with a garbage bag, and he took all the trophies and he just trashed them. I'm like, what are you doing?
Shit.
He's like, these don't mean anything. These are just crap.
That's good.
But it was the truth.
Dude, that is so the truth. Because remember, okay, Eddie knows. I got a trophy playing hockey. I was dog shit at hockey, right? I was fucking terrible. Like, all those trophies mean fucking nothing.
What?
Right?
Max,
Okay.
no, you
I
were
mean,
good
I
at-
was decent,
you
but
were
I
okay,
wasn't
but,
like
People
I
need
wasn't
adversity, Eddie. You can
I
tell them
wasn't
the
the
truth.
star player. Like I was not like
Okay.
you know.
like somehow magically the puck came onto your stick and you just like bloop, goal, and it was like yeah, and then like Max, you didn't move fast to save your life.
Yeah,
It's
just
just like- you're
I-
just a different type. You're a different type of people.
I just
yeah.
I look at some of those hockey trophies. I'm like, really did not earn those things, you know.
No. Well, that's not what we're talking about here. It's like,
But-
it's like we all want to feel like winners. Like, no, sorry, little Johnny, like you didn't win.
There needs
How
to be
about-
winners and there needs to be
There needs to be-
to be one winner and then there needs to be losers.
Yeah.
Yes, there's nothing wrong with that, and
Yeah.
that's lacking in today's society. Yeah, it's everyone needs to look. Sorry, man, dude. You win and lose. You get
Well-
picked on at school. You get all this shit happen to you.
Well, I was telling them
it
about.
builds a better person.
Well, I was telling them about like when I was working at the station around like 2016, 2017. They started implementing like these stupid rules where like the first one was you can't cuss, and I was like, okay,
Don't you cuss.
yeah, that are you fucking kidding me? Like that. Like the world is hard enough. We can't cuss, okay? And then they started showing us these stupid sensitive training videos about you can't make fun of these trans women and stuff. You're like, well, what the fuck? You can't make fun of these like little midgets and stuff. You're like, what? What is going on here? This is like Clownland.
What's happening at your
Yeah.
station, man?
Yeah, it's like what
Yeah,
the
that's
fuck
a-
is going on
Who's
here?
working at your
And
station?
then, then it morphed into like you can't even post anything on social media. I'm like, fuck it, I'm out of here. You know, it's like it just became wimp world. You know, like this is not what it always has been. Like what the fuck?
I'll go back to saying I think individuals should be able to do what individuals want, but
That's
they
fine.
shouldn't expect everybody else to tailor to their
yeah,
every
and that's
need
fine.
of what they're
yeah.
doing.
No, yeah.
If you want to be different, individually, that's fine. But when you start like imposing on everybody else, that is an issue.
Yeah. Have you guys seen the Big Boob Canada teacher?
Yes.
I think I may have come across this today. Actually, she's wearing like fake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's wearing fake boobs. She's like,
But they're like triple G's.
yeah,
they're like,
And,
triple
like,
Fs
the
or
nipples
whatever.
are like
Ginormous.
this fucking like they're poking out like. boing.
No,
What?
they're not up there, Max. They're down
Oh
here.
yeah, they're
What?
down here.
Now,
but-
to better understand this, and I like not to be insensitive, but is this actually a woman or is this like?
no, this is a dude.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's a dude.
I
It's
just don't know
fake.
the whole story. I don't.
Yeah. Well, listen.
It's Canada.
I tippy toe around subjects. Well, look, you guys know more. Whatever, Max. But yeah, I do I think it's right? No, this is like unacceptable. But
I mean,
whatever.
overall, I
Twitch
think
is
South Park said it best. Fuck Canada.
Fucking Doug.
And that's all I have to say about that.
Speaking of South Park and trans
That's
people,
what you should name this podcast. That's all I have to say about that.
Hey, and actually, to get into this, I will say just a quick plug for South Park. Not a sponsor of the podcast. I honestly think that South Park is like the best. How do I even say this?
It's
like,
a good show.
That's how it's still
media-wise,
relevant.
play-wise, whatever. The word is not coming to me, but it is actually like the best representation of how the world actually is today. Like I think,
It is.
like
They blow it way out of proportion.
if we needed to see how stupid we are, or like if you wanted to see how everything really was and how stupid everything is,
Yeah, you
should
just watch-
South Park.
Exactly.
Nobody does it better. Like South Park is great.
They just say relevant and then they just blow it out of proportion. But that's truthfully like, they're like,
well, yeah.
dude, that's a
South Park is saying what everybody is thinking.
yes.
Well, I was gonna say that.
And cardboard cutout.
It's just an unfiltered lens.
Well, it's like that. What they had the transgender athlete performer, like I guess the women.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
just that jack dude. He's like, I'm not here to talk about my transition. I'm here to win. Like just beats all of them.
Yeah, just clobbers.
so-
them.
Yeah.
That was like right before. That was right before it really took off. Like,
Culturally
the whole-
relevant.
Yeah.
South Park is more culturally relevant right now than any other thing.
Yeah,
It's-
no, and they're not afraid to expose
Yep,
it.
and they're not
I
afraid
love
to
that
expose
about
it.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're not PC about it. They're just straight. Yeah, that's what I love about.
I mean,
it.
like, yeah.
They don't
and
have to be
they'll-
PC.
they'll
They have
zoom in
PC
on hairy
principle.
nipples if they need to. Who knows?
with the shades.
Well, what made me really respect them was when they declared that they're just going to stop making fun of Trump because it just wasn't original anymore. And that's when you're like, all right, these guys are committed to their comedy because everyone else at the time is like, oh, Trump, Trump, Trump. But at some point, it just becomes boring,
Yeah.
Unoriginal. And they're like, fuck it, we're going to start making fun of all the other stuff. So
Well, yeah, and you should make fun of everybody.
Yeah.
That's what the best part of it is. Like,
yeah, and that's
That's what
So
I like.
they chose
They
the
pull
right
no
path.
punches.
Yeah, they went the right path.
That's something that the world needs right now, I think.
Oh yeah.
That and everybody needs to get punched in the face.
Yeah, exactly.
Or kicked in the balls.
Sure.
Or
Fuck.
whatever you might have.
Physical repercussions.
Do you get a trophy if you get kicked in the balls?
I would like one. Actually, no. Dude, I've been hit. Even though I was wearing a cup, I took a slap shot to the cup. Good, thank God I was wearing that thing, but it laid me down for a couple minutes. It was pretty brutal. Anyways,
Well, yeah, because the cup is like, it still pinches you, right? When you get hit.
You want to talk about the eighth wonder of the world?
Cup, I'll take a slap shot to.
No, that's what I'm saying.
aim
It still pinches your nads, right?
Yeah, it's like wearing a bulletproof
Like,
vest. It's
yeah.
still gonna hurt,
Yeah.
but you're
Yes.
not gonna be shot.
Yeah,
You're not gonna be
it's not
dead.
like- it's not like the balls are busted, but
It's a mitigation
it hurts,
thing.
Yeah.
Just watch the new Jackass movie. You'll see the cup
Oh,
test.
Eddie, do you want to talk about the Jackass episode with the fat man? And
No. Sashimi? No, dude.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, you're the best one at explaining that one.
Well, have you guys, Jensen, done
The new
yours?
Jackass?
Yeah.
No.
No, I never seen
Max.
that.
This is
Oh,
gross.
too much puke in those movies.
I don't
for me.
want to puke. Yeah, and they were puking.
Oh, you got to. Spotlight's on you, Eddie.
I'm okay if he doesn't.
Yeah, no, Max. It's gross,
Okay.
dude. It's gross. It's gross, dude.
Those movies just are something else.
Yeah.
You know you want to.
I know, but no. 100.3 the X. He's like, they play that clip from what is it, School of Rock. He's like, I'm your substitute teacher today. I have a headache and the runs.
Meaning he's been drinking all
Yeah,
like.
he's hungover as fuck. He's got a headache and he's shitting his pants, like shitting his ass.
Let me ask you guys this: did you guys ever grow up with like some really weird like substitute teachers?
Hotties.
What?
All right,
Really?
all right. We're gonna. Speaking of hotties, and this is gonna come
topic,
across as
Max.
super insensitive and bad, but you see all these articles about all these like teachers sleeping with their students.
God damn
and
it.
90% of them are hot. And I just want to say, where were all these teachers when I was in school? I'm not condoning teachers sleeping with
No,
their
no, no.
students
No,
in any
I
way,
think-
but
I
where
know,
were these
but-
attractive
I know,
women?
motherfucker, that woman of age should have been sleeping with me.
No,
Said she
yeah.
broke the law.
It's like, what happened? Did you go home? Hey, by the way, Mom, English teacher was super hot. Like, this happened. Like, why'd you tell her?
Yeah.
I know. Well, that's a lot of people are
That's
going.
so
this is-
bad.
Why
That's
did
so bad, but-
why did these teenage boys tell anyone? Like they had a good thing going.
Probably because they're teenage boys who aren't very smart. I don't know.
Yeah, pretty dumb. I know, I was dumb.
I'm not gonna lie. I had a 6th grade teacher. Oh my god, she was fucking smoking.
Yeah. Anyways. What are your goals, Max?
Sorry, I was kind of out of the conversation. I was just kind of listening. But my goals.
Yeah, Max, what are your CrossFit goals?
Oh, CrossFit goals. Okay. Just to stay lean and fit.
You're
You know.
lean, so you got that on lockdown.
Yeah, lean, fit. Try to just stay like, I don't know, just fit.
He's
Hey,
lean
you've been
and
doing really
mean.
good on your handstand walks. I think
Yeah.
you should. I think you really should put some time into that.
I should,
But
Yeah.
you're not.
but I'm not.
You should, Max. It takes a lot of time falling on the ground looking like an idiot to really perfect that aspect of CrossFit. So put in the time. It's worth it.
Right.
I think mountain biking, you're getting really good at mountain biking. Or
Yeah,
like,
so-
like from where you
mountain
started.
biking. I'd like to get more into mountain biking and stuff. That sounds like fun.
Like, do you want to ever like jump or get off your seat or what's the deal?
Are you talking about mountain biking?
Yeah. Jumping is yeah.
Well, yeah. I'm getting more comfortable with standing up and going down fast and maybe starting to catch some air and stuff.
All right.
But
I made him uncomfortable. Sorry.
yeah, no. So for for winter goals, I don't know exactly. Maybe focus more on mountain biking.
Maybe we should
For
look you up-
summer goals, I would like to really get more into like that surfing.
Yeah, dude, you took a liking to that. Dude, we need to hook you up with some like creatine or something. Just a little bit dose of creatine.
Probably, man. You're probably right about that.
Fill those bones out a little bit.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Do you take that, Jensen?
What?
I did take creatine a little bit, but then in my weight loss efforts, I stopped taking it because it's just gonna add extra,
Yeah,
and
girth.
even if it's water weight, it's still gonna be extra weight that I don't need at this point. Trying to lean down, not get super big. So I stopped taking creatine. But what we need to do for you, Max, a little bit of creatine. Whole lot of anabolic steroids. Fill you out, my man. That's what I'm talking.
Dude, yeah, like roid it up.
I can't imagine Max on roids. I can't imagine him being like raging about anything or jacked at all. So we need to get that going, Max.
And the tiniest boner.
Max,
never see me drive. I'm
Max,
fucking
what you need to
pissed
do
when I
is you need to go to the doctor and you got to go, my mood is low, my morale is low, I can't get a boner. And you're going to get some nice testosterone replacement therapy and you're going to get jacked as fuck.
Is that what they do?
You'll get all the dudes.
There you go.
Hey, fuck you.
That's your winner. That's your winner goal right there, man.
That's it, Max. Go to the doctor.
No, I'm not getting all the dudes. Fuck you guys.
Dude, you
No.
don't.
The dudes will just be admiring you. All the dudes
Yeah.
will
They
want
wanna
to
be
be
yeah,
you.
The dudes come later, Max. First, the doctor appointment, okay? So, one step at a time here, all right? We're not jumping.
You can't
around.
get the
Damn it.
dudes without the doctor.
Guys, I need
DD.
women.
He needs a DD. Doctors and dudes.
Fuck you guys.
Oh, just
Don't worry, we love you too,
All
Max.
right, let's change the conversation.
Max
here.
is all his shopping at
let's talk
D&B
about-
Supply.
no,
Dudes, then
okay.
bitches.
Let's talk about ghosts.
Ghosts?
Yeah, do you guys believe in ghosts?
100%.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
No, but do you believe in them?
I'm just quoting the movie.
I have not personally had any experiences with ghosts firsthand, but I know a number of people who have, and when they tell those stories, it does give me goosebumps, and they 100% truly believe that they've had those experiences. So I do believe in ghosts, yes.
What about you, Eddie?
the one story that resonates with me is the story that Dad tells. I don't know if it's not a ghost story, but it's more like a paranormal like. Remember
What
when
are
he was,
the odds of it happening, right?
Remember when he was talking about how he was going?
He
was
went
trying
down to
look-
California to find his friend's grave.
Yeah. Oh, he told.
Yeah,
you
he
about
told me
that?
this story. Yep. Oh, he
And-
told me the story 1 week ago. Goosebumps.
Doug, he told you when we
Yep.
were at the bar.
Yeah, he told me at the 1918 lounge.
He didn't even tell me that story.
Why did it? This is so weird. Okay,
I feel left out now.
wait.
And now we're talking about it. Weird, huh?
why did it? Why would he tell you that story?
Because we were talking about ghosts. We were talking about what we were going to talk about
oh
during this.
He was trying to
podcast.
call Ghostbusters, but Doug is
No.
similar number.
no, you were talking to Max. You were talking to Dad about the subjects that we were going to talk
Yeah.
about.
Well, he was talking to me about the subjects, and then your dad, and then me and Max were basically just going back and forth,
Oh.
talking about ghosts, and then he just told me the story.
Dude, that story that he told you resonated with me, where he slipped and fell, and that was his buddy's grave that he fell on too. That
Yeah,
gives me
like of
goosebumps every
the thousands of plots that would be in a freaking cemetery. That's the one he tripped, and like, holy shit.
Yeah, that one resonated with me like hardcore. As far as ghosts, though, not vividly. No, I've never really like, whoa, like that was like a silhouette, or I see some shit. But like, I've had some like weird shit happen to me where I was like, I don't know, man. There's like some weird energy around here, like energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Jensen. What about you, man?
You know, personally, I've never had any experiences with ghosts. Again, I've heard stories, and I've seen things on TV and whatnot, but I have never had a personal experience, so I can't really speak to it. But I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things where it could be or it couldn't be. It's tough to say. It's really tough. I don't know. I will say there are, certain situations or places I've been where, you get that creepy crawly feeling, but I'm not sure I could attribute that to ghosts. So I'm not really sure. I've heard my fair share of stories, but...
Well, have you seen Ghost Hunters?
Okay.
TAPS, the Atlantic Paranormal Society.
No, but sometimes
there's
there's
there's a lot of ghost shows.
But there's like electric...
EMPs?
Yeah, that give off the creepy
No,
vibe.
EMF, electromagnetic fields.
Yeah, that
You
give off
believe
the
in that,
creepy vibe.
Doug?
I used to watch with my dad every Wednesday. We watched Ghost Hunters.
I don't know if that's like a good representation. I think that adds to a TV show.
Well, I sort of think it sort of depends on the TV show, and I'm going to get a little into this, but
Okay.
the way I know that a show is basically bullshit is if every single time they look for a ghost they find one, that's bullshit. If they're going to go out and they're going to look and say, look, we didn't find anything, then that's how I know they're actually legit. Like, if they find something once in a while, once every couple episodes, once every 3 episodes, but if you have a show that's basically just based on, oh, we heard something, we saw this, then it's like, oh, okay, you guys are finding way too many ghosts.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's true.
Now,
I mean, I'll actually take back what I said. I have not really had a ghost experience, but...
Jesus Christ.
I
was switching... sorry, I was switching through the wrong cameras. All right.
I used to go to Lake Tahoe with my family every summer for vacation, and there is a casino hotel called the Cal Neva, and it's called that because it's on the California-Nevada border, and because it was half on, half on different states, like the mob would use it for like nefarious stuff, like moving gambling machines back and forth. So if a state inspector came, they'd be like, oh, there's nothing on this side, it's all on this side, and they switch it back and forth. And they dumped a bunch of bodies in Lake Tahoe, which they have found actually still down there because it's so cold and there's so much pressure, they're still down there. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
Sorry, I didn't even know that.
when you go on the tour, they're like, oh, if you take pictures.
I'm sorry.
Max, you're killing me over here.
The Mario guy picked up that boxer guy and threw him. I didn't know that was possible in that
Okay.
game.
He was killed that easily?
Yeah, I didn't know that. Okay, continue.
Okay, so you go to this hotel and you go and they have like underground tunnels in the hotel for whatever mob shit they were doing. And it's rumored like Marilyn Monroe would use them to like snake people's rooms or whatnot. I don't know. It's all stories, but they're like everyone take pictures of these tunnels and like if you see orbs, like oh that's a ghost, and like people would do it and they're like oh I got orbs on my photo, and I'm like all right maybe, but I don't. So that was like my one experience, but I was like I don't believe it. At least in my own experience, I never had a definitive experience where I'm yes or no. So.
Yeah, that's tough. I don't know. Maybe like as the older you get, you can manifest certain stories and things like that. But I definitely like. There's things that just like. I don't know. Why do you get creeped out by certain things? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I know what he means. I mean, I think that I think the big thing is, are there ghosts? Are there not ghosts? I think the big answer is like all of us die and things like that. And the real question is, we're all human beings for all intents and purposes. We're some super complex like machine, right? Like we're an organism. But when we die, like we're still all different. So there needs to be something that's a part of us that makes us the way we are. And where does that energy end up going? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's sort of what I think. Like, are there ghosts? Yes, I think there are ghosts. And are they people who are dead walking around? I don't know if it's like that traditional sense, but I think there's just when we all die, we release some type of energy into the world. That's
absolutely,
it's like what we were, whatever it is. I don't know, but there's like energy out there that's not us.
Yeah, no, I agree to that. Dude, I don't know. Like I was staying in my grandmother's house for a little while, and it was just like a creepy kind of, and that house had some history with somebody that ended up dying there, probably not in the best way, and I just felt very uncomfortable all the time. Like, I stayed in the back room. Well, you had to come through the kitchen, through the dining room, around through the living room, and into the bathroom, which was, I just did not like that shit, and I just like, and you had to pass through the room where this person had passed
scary.
away. Right, Max?
Yeah.
And there was things that would happen, like while we were like renovating the house, where like all of a sudden the radio would turn on, or like, and it's just like, yo, there's some fucking energy here, and like I'm not about it, and I'm like that. Ultimately, that's why I didn't move into that fucking house. Yes.
No,
like,
that house was haunted. Our grandmother's house. Yeah.
It was, man. I did not like
that one guy committed suicide, right?
in the master bedroom, and it was you had to walk past the bedroom.
It was a 1920s house. So, yeah, I mean, yeah. So I was the one number because my house is from the 1950s, and I was scared. Like the first night that I slept here, I was like, man, this house better not be fucking haunted, you know?
Nah, yeah.
But sure enough, it's not haunted. So
yeah, I mean, me and my wife live 2 blocks away from here, and that's sort of funny. Like the first night we were ever in there, like getting ready for bed, she goes, "Man, I hope this place isn't haunted." I mean, you never know. I mean, a house is 70 years old.
Yeah,
lots of people have lived in a house that's 70 years old.
Yeah.
So,
you don't know what happened in that.
You never know. You get a vibe. You just get a vibe. You know or you don't. And sometimes, like, even if the house is cool, maybe you like will second guess yourself. You're like, hey, like, oh, I get creeped out, but then you're like, oh no, like it's cool. This is my place.
Eddie, it was just like our grandmother's house. During the daytime, that house is like phenomenal, like awesome, right?
Yeah, but
like
when it turns nighttime,
yeah, but it's a great house. But then nighttime, the house feels like a black hole, like it's a dark void.
Yeah, like it's sucking your. It's like sucking your energy.
There's something that's just really fucking creepy about it. I don't know how to describe it. Like it's just like there's.
Yeah, I think you said it just right. It's a dark hole.
Every doorway, every room you look into is just a black void, and you're just like, this is fucking scary.
Yeah, this is like not. There's not good juju here.
Yeah, it just is really scary.
Yeah,
like no light, nothing. You're just like, what the fuck?
And literally, like, I could have had a house. That house is mine.
Yeah,
I was like, you know what?
But dude, that house is freaky
cool.
at night. It is fucking freaky.
Yeah, like we're cool.
You know, if you're looking to give the house away, I know someone you can give it to.
But good luck, Jensen.
But also, here's all I'm saying is, you know, you guys talked a lot about this house, and now you have to have the next episode in that house of this podcast.
Shit.
Well, Halloween. They sold it already.
Halloween.
Oh, okay, it's all right.
Halloween.
The house
Halloween.
is gone. The house is no longer ours. It's been passed through a couple times.
Damn it. We're gonna be like, well, we're vying ourselves for Halloween.
Well,
what are the odds?
That's why I said. That's why I said the next episode. If somehow you could do it in your attic above your,
dude, that
because
would
there's
be...
an old school desk up there that's creepy, bro.
Wait, you have an attic?
Yeah.
In this place?
Yeah. Up above his garage, there's a little school desk in the back. This is pretty fucking creepy.
I don't know if that's.
I would look for a box of old videotapes.
I was thinking about that.
And it's dusty and dirty, and there's cobwebs up there and stuff.
I was thinking about that. I don't think that would happen this year, but maybe next year.
Shut up, you make it work right now.
But this year, we should do one where we all dress up like a weekend before Halloween so I could post it on Halloween. Because if we do it on Halloween, it would be dumb because it would post it during like mid-November and people are going to be like, what the fuck are these people
Max,
dressed
you're
up?
giving away your
Like,
podcast
Yeah.
secrets. Your
What the
podcast
fuck
edit
are these
secrets.
people dressed up for?
This is proprietary information, Max. You want to keep it on the DL.
I highly doubt people are watching till this point.
All right. Well, hey,
So you're gonna cut it up in a little like
Okay, let's say
segments, right?
Well, yeah, but not
Well, how about
one.
this? How about one of these days we drive around to one of these old cemeteries in the area, we take some videos, like real late at night, and we post that as a part of a podcast.
Yeah.
And then we talk about our experience doing it all.
There you go.
I will say, the one, of all the cemeteries I've ever been to, the one it's on, what street is that? It's in Boise. There's a giant mausoleum at this one. It's across the street from like, do you know where the new Still ice cream is? Like that place? It's like, what street is that?
is it over there by the hospital?
It's basically, no, it's in Boise. It's basically where, like, if you're going down Overland or whatever, and then it's not an east-west street, it's a north-south street. And it's how you get back to, like, where, like, all, like, where old Joe's Crab Shack was and stuff like that. That street that basically takes you and it sweeps down into that part of Boise. It basically
To Garden City.
It gets you from the bench to Garden City.
Okay, yeah.
There's this big cemetery there, and there's like
Oh,
there's this big mausoleum there, and every time I drive by it, I'm like, oh, I'd like to like actually check that out late at night, just because it gives me like weird vibes.
Oh man.
There's also some house apparently, like some Boise murder house. You can read about it all.
that'd be nice.
There's like a bunch of articles about it.
Can you sleep in it?
Max. Oh my
Someone just
God.
owns
Okay.
it.
If
No,
you
but
fall asleep,
sometimes-
What would you?
No, but
nobody's gonna let you sleep in the house.
No, I
Like,
swear to God, sometimes there's those haunted
stupid house.
homes. No, there's those haunted homes where you can.
It's like owned by a private resident. It's
Yeah,
it's a
but-
private home, but
No, but there's some of those haunted homes where they literally do rent out rooms that you
Yeah.
can sleep in. It's not a joke.
yeah.
Pete's Tavern is apparently haunted.
oh
That's
yeah, I've heard
downtown
about that.
Nampa. Yeah.
I've heard about that.
Apparently the back room.
Yeah, the cave,
Yeah.
the cave lounge.
A lot
Yeah,
of shit
it's-
happened in that back room. That's all I'm saying.
Do you know what happened?
Well, someone farted. He died from the fart. Suffocated.
I don't think that's what happened, Max. But yeah. Hell, I did hear that. I did hear on a separate note. I guess Nampa used to have this big, expansive underground tunnel system that the police
Yeah.
had to like basically just block off.
Yeah, they sealed them. They sealed the tunnels are still there, but they sealed them off like individually. Yeah.
Why is that?
A homeless I heard it was the homeless population going down there and basically just
Oh, shacking up.
yeah.
Oh, damn.
But I would love to see something like that. 'cause
You
that
would
would be-
love to shack up and down there.
No, I wouldn't love to check up. I'd love to see an underground tunnel.
No,
system
yeah,
like
I think
that
that'd be really
Yeah, it
freaking
would.
cool.
Like,
Yeah.
obviously, the reason they had that was like I'm sure it was prohibition or something illegal. Like stuff had to happen down there.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it.
Listen, guys, I know someone who's a city planner, so if we can get his help, we might be able to figure out where it is, explore it a little bit. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
Yeah, just say
he works for
we
the
are
city.
going
Although they would
so
have to
he
be a
would-
city planner in the city of Nampa.
Yeah, he.
All I'm saying
Just
is,
say we're going to be digging to China to be peaceful, and then we hit the tunnel.
yeah, you have to know where it is first. Otherwise, we're actually going to dig to China, and it's not going to be very much fun.
You might get a little sunburn going through the core of the earth.
Yeah, you might.
We'll actually get to China.
The good news is you want to get that vitamin D. That's real strong down towards the core.
Oh yeah, it is as they say,
damn
hot, hot, hot.
It's like Little Caesars down there, man. It's hot and ready. That's all I'm saying.
It's hot and you're not ready.
Oh, gosh. All right, well.
What's the next
You know what they
topic,
say: if you
Max?
can't take the heat, stay out of the core of the earth.
Yep, that's what they say.
All right, well, I guess I will.
Contrary to popular belief, as they showed in the Disney movie, Atlantis does not exist. You can't bore to Atlantis. You would bore to the core of the earth. That would just cause problems.
You'd be real bored trying. I'll say that much.
I didn't realize that. Okay, anyways. I thought you had your own PBR. Anyways, all right, next topic.
What you need to do is have like a hat full of topics, and we just pull one out. And we
Yeah.
start talking
Oh,
about
hey,
it.
that's a
That's
good
a
idea.
great
That's a good
idea.
Dude, that's
Would
a
it be
good
a
idea.
top hat?
We do.
It has to
What
be
kind of hat?
it-
We need to establish the kind
a
of hat.
former magician's top hat is the only way to go.
The kind of top hat that would bring a snowman to life.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
That's a
Jack
good
Frost
idea.
ended up
I'll,
in
I'll
this.
keep that in mind.
Oh my God.
Frosty
okay.
the Snowman?
Well, yeah.
Jack
hey,
Frost.
You ever
Hey,
seen Jack Frost?
we could do Max. You should do like old school CrossFit. You ever heard of the hopper?
Well, yeah.
the
Like,
bunny?
You know how we turn tickets
Yeah.
at the lodge?
Yeah.
We just put suggestions in the hopper.
Yeah,
you
just
turn it up
topics.
and you just
Yeah.
pull one out.
Well, now
that's
let
a good
me
idea.
let me turn my brain around and let me think of a topic, shall we?
Okay.
Oh, you're king of topics. Oh God.
There's a lot of weird ideas rattling around that head over there.
Right, yeah, exactly. God damn, this is gonna take a lot of editing.
Yeah, it is.
All right. I have a topic. I have something to discuss.
Okay,
that,
okay, what's your
Alright.
topic?
that it sort of came up when we were talking about aliens and different cultures and things like that. Do you guys think it's odd, like when you look at like Greek gods and you have Zeus, Hercules, all that stuff, and then you go over and it's been, I don't know how many years apart they were, but then you start looking at Norse mythology and you see their gods, like the striking similarities between like the deities that they're seeing, like Zeus, god of thunder, whatever, the whole thing, and then you see Thor, god of thunder, and all this stuff, where these were they might not necessarily have been separate continents, but they were separated by thousands of miles and thousands of years, or whenever like the hierarchies of these
That's
like,
what
groups
I-
were. Do you think that's sort of strange?
That's
Like,
what I was saying about gods being aliens. They come down.
no, Max.
No,
oh
no.
my God. Okay.
They come down. They come down, and a culture goes, "Oh my gosh, like this is our god," but it's an alien. And then they come down in another part of the earth, and then they think, "Oh, this is my god," but it's all the same god.
I mean, I just think it's strange that you have like different groups of gods for different groups of people that existed at different groups of time,
But they're
But they're all
similar.
similar.
yeah.
Well, I mean,
aliens.
I think that there is like a something to be said for like people are sort of hardwired to look for like a godlike figure or a deity of some kind. I would say I think that sort of spans all of human history. You know, you even look at it today. We have Christianity, Catholicism, you have
Islam.
Islam. You have,
Yeah, but every god came from the sky. That's like the number one sign. It's like, hello. Or maybe, there could be a possibility that there's multiple aliens that have come, like different type of aliens that have come down,
Well-
trying to compete with like, oh, we got to convince them that we're like, almost like a strategy game. Like, we got to convince these NPCs that they're ours.
If I can cut
Right.
in here, Max, I would like to just point out one thing is that if we're talking about religion and Christianity and whatever, Jesus was born on Earth and was a human.
Yeah, but what if he was
But-
genetically inserted?
But there we go. Yeah, that's a great point. But he didn't come from the sky; he was born.
Exactly.
So that pokes a hole in your theory
But
where they all
no,
come from the
it
sky.
doesn't. It doesn't because they
But
could
all-
genetically.
But when do we ever see that all these gods came from the sky? I mean, I know there was Mount Olympus and Valhalla and all these other places, but these were also sort of earthly places.
Yeah.
Like, they kind of existed, you know?
Can I point out one thing that we may have not thought of? Is that back a long time ago, drugs weren't illegal. Could they all have just been tripping balls?
Dude, you're right though.
No, that's
No.
totally a good point.
You're totally. I mean, I listened to a Joe Rogan. I listened to Joe Rogan podcast, and yeah, he interviewed this one like drug expert, and he does make the case that maybe back then humans were just hallucinating.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, I think I may have heard a similar podcast or story, but you think of Mesopotamia, like the cradle of life, like where everything comes from. I believe if you actually went back there, like there were like mushrooms and psychedelic drugs that were very prevalent in those regions that people may have experienced.
And some of them and some experts think that they just accidentally took them.
Well, I
and
mean,
he started seeing shit, you know?
I mean, yeah.
So that could be a possibility.
I mean, if you think about it, I mean, I don't know where. I think, my own opinion, I'm not sure, but I think LSD is synthetic. I'm not sure about that. But you think, I think ayahuasca is a bush or like a plant of some kind?
Ayahuasca and what is it?
You mean LSD?
No,
Or LDS?
There's something called DMT, dimethyltryptamine, and dimethyltryptamine is derived by things like ayahuasca. It's like more concentrated, but Jensen's right. Like, there's tons of natural things that occur all over this planet that make people see just the most absurd, crazy stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Just off the top of my head, cocaine comes from coca leaves from a plant.
Yeah.
Opium comes from a poppy, another plant. So it's just those things that we have now refined and have knowledge of them, but thousands of years ago.
Yeah, they could have just accidentally ate them, and then all of a sudden, whoa!
I mean, you hear about the trip
You
up someone has at Coachella on mushrooms,
Yeah.
and then you're like, wow, that sounds pretty fucking crazy. But
Yeah,
back then,
people-
it's like something that they wrote down in the Bible.
Yeah, I mean, you think about nowadays. Nowadays, we're like, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about because he's some guy at Coachella. But, the wrong guy in Greece has this trip, and they're like, wow, this guy, he knows what he's talking about. He's in charge. So, it's like,
Plato knows where to find the mushrooms, and all of a sudden, it's...
exactly.
Yeah, well,
He's
there's,
enlightened.
I mean, there's a joke that, the whole Book of Mormon thing, it was like, must have just been a really high teenager, who saw, I don't know, the Book of Mormon God or something out.
I thought he found, the Book of Mormon.
He found tablets that he saw through a top hat, or it was.
And then,
something
the
weird.
God came down, or this Jesus. I don't know what that. I don't know.
I mean, I think one thing you can say, at its very, very core, a lot of the stuff that you read in Old Testament, New Testament,
All right, so we're back on.
Okay,
Okay.
we're back on.
What are we talking about, Max? Speed?
So we were gonna. What was the topic we were gonna talk about?
Dougie Fresh had a topic.
superpowers.
Oh,
Superpowers. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. All right. You want to know my superpower?
Yes.
Okay, wait.
Okay, not really a superpower, but if I were to make a superhero movie, this is what it would be, okay? It would be completely unique. Imagine a man, all right?
Oh, you're gonna assume his gender?
Yes. Okay, so imagine a man.
Okay,
gets-
slippery slope.
He gets punched in the face, right? And he turns into a ragdoll dummy. And then he gets back up. He's a ragdoll dummy superhero.
So his power is just being able to be hit and infinite
Just
amount
like-
of times.
like-
Yeah,
Nothing
because he's
happens.
just a ragdoll, he's normal. He gets punched and he's like, bleh.
Okay.
And then he gets back up, like,
And that was what you'd want? You'd want to be a
Yeah.
ragdoll?
It sounds like he just
Oh,
is like
man.
a,
It's
a
invincible.
punching
It sounds
bag.
very defensive, not very offensive.
Yeah,
Did
you're
not-
invincible.
But how do you beat the bad guy if
Yeah.
you're a ragdoll? There's no...
You can't die.
Yeah, that doesn't
That's
mean
it, though. You
so
can't
then
save
he gets
anybody.
tired, and then
What-
and then what? You just
Yeah, so-
hit
so-
him with your.
No, you just...
Max, if I can float you a scenario here,
No.
you can't die, yes, but what if they stick you in like a trunk and drop you in the middle of the ocean, and now you're stuck at the bottom of the ocean
As a
you
rag
can't-
doll.
and you can't die, but then what are you gonna do?
You're gonna get
Well,
really
you just
pissed
wiggle
off.
yourself out. You're a ragdoll, so you can breathe underneath water.
I don't know if ragdolls can breathe underwater.
Yeah. I've never spoken to a ragdoll personally,
God damn it,
but
I'm trying to be unique here.
Max, you
Believe
got
me, Max, that's unique, and there are plenty of unique bad superpowers.
5 stars on uniqueness, 0 stars on effectiveness, and
You
in
motherfuckers,
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
show
On
you
a s-
all. I'll show you all.
I think of this as like a video game, like when you're picking a race car, like indestructible. It's off the charts 10 for like speed and like maybe you have like shoot like air like zeros across the board. Sorry,
Yeah.
you fail, bud.
You guys are just
You know,
jealous.
here's something else.
It just
I'm-
really wasn't a very good idea.
Max, here's something else I'm curious about now that we're talking about it is you say you can't die, right? But can
I won't die.
can they beat this guy into a coma and he's on life
No.
support? He's still alive.
Because he becomes a ragdoll every time he gets hit. You get boom, ragdoll.
Well, yeah, but,
and then he
okay,
gets up.
but
He's
you mean
"All
like
right,
a
boom,
physical ragdoll or like he just goes limp?
No, he becomes a ragdoll the moment he,
Okay, but Max, like, dude, I punch you, right? You're
Yeah.
down. I'm gonna like rip your fucking legs off.
Well, yeah, I'm
Then
just a
now what?
rag doll. I'm literally just a rag doll.
Yeah, but
Can the
Max,
ragdoll,
you're not
like,
But
ready.
Max,
regenerate?
But now you
the
don't have-
supervillain may have
now you
laser
don't have
vision.
limbs.
Yeah, no, but
What if the
that's
supervillain has laser vision
that's
and he cuts
the-
off your rag legs
No,
and then your rag arms?
That's the joke.
What if grandma's not around to sew you back together?
That's the joke, though.
Are
I'm
you-
a rag doll.
Are you full of straw?
The moment you hit me, I don't become reality. I'm just like a little flimsy
Rag dolls
doll.
are in reality.
Yeah, they are
then
real.
The
Just-
moment I settle, then I'm like
Max,
full again.
just
Okay.
stop. Just
All right.
stop. Just
Okay,
stop. Just
so-
stop. Okay.
I'm telling you,
So-
it's a
Jensen,
great
go
movie
ahead.
idea.
Max?
man.
Agree to
It's a
disagree.
it's a great movie idea.
It's not a good movie idea, Max, unfortunately.
It is.
But so I'm going to sort of change the course here a little bit, and instead of thinking of really bizarre, like I'm on a drug trip movie that we could make, why don't we talk about what superpower you would have that that already fictionally exists, and then the pros and cons of that, instead of talking about being a rag doll when you get assaulted.
Yeah, Max.
Okay, what are
86,
your-
86
what-
that idea, Max.
What the hell are your?
I mean,
What are your
technically, a lot of
superpowers?
people, if they were getting assaulted, could in fact ragdoll.
Yeah, you can rag doll.
I don't know if I'd call it a power.
You just wouldn't
Okay,
turn into an actual
what
doll.
are your guys' superpowers?
Okay,
I
okay.
want to hear
Here,
now.
here,
'Cause
Eddie,
mine's the
Eddie,
best.
you know what? You start us with
Yeah,
the
come on.
superpower.
Yeah,
please.
what
Sorry.
are your superpowers, huh? My dad could beat your dad up.
hold your gourd there, kid.
My dad could beat all your dads. So.
Sorry, these would be mine too. My two, like.
I'm sure. My dad's not.
Although I don't really watch like Marvel or like I'm not really into that type of stuff. But if I could choose, like, I would have invisibility. I'd be able to be invisible, and then like some type of like be able to harness like the clouds to like lightning strike you.
Okay, so you talking about like Storm from the X-Men
Plus
invisibility?
Yeah.
Try doing that
Yeah,
with a
I mean,
rag doll,
Interesting
huh?
choice.
Yeah, try to electrocute that rag doll. See how it goes.
Can a ragdoll
Yeah,
conduct electricity?
That's that. If it's wet,
Well, okay. I don't know. What are your two geeks' thoughts?
Oh my god! Okay, Doug, what do you think?
What
do
are
you
your
have
thoughts
one?
on those two?
Invisibility, obviously, invisibility would be great.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
but there would also be some downfalls to invisibility. You're not invulnerable. I think every time you think about superpowers, it goes, how effective is this to the point where someone could still kill me? I mean, I think some level of invulnerability is super important when you start talking about superpowers, because if you can be invisible, but you're walking across the street being all sneaky and you get hit by a semi-truck, you're
Yeah.
still dead. So it's
fuck.
sort of tricky, you know? I mean,
Okay,
I
but
see.
what if
But-
when you're invisible, you're hollow? You're like straight through.
so you're
transparent.
okay. So you're like
so
a
you're
phantom,
like ghost,
basically.
like ghost mode.
Danny Phantom.
Okay,
Whoa!
I like to point out that's
That
not
would
what-
be cool.
That's not what hollow
Oh, damn
means.
it, why didn't
Hollow-
I think of that?
Transparent.
Yeah,
Not even transparent.
A transparent
I
rag
get.
doll.
Oh my god!
No more
I get what
of the
you're saying, though.
ragdoll.
I mean, if you basically like what Eddie is saying, like if you could almost become like a ghost, like you couldn't be seen,
Just like,
people
poof.
could pass through you. You're not physically. You're physically there, but
You
you're
just
not.
like you disappear, but you still remain in like consciousness.
The
like,
only word that comes to mind is phantom for me.
yeah. I mean, you would turn. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Now,
Intangible.
Intangible.
that was a long beard hair
Can't
you
be
pulled
seen.
out of
Can't
that.
be
right.
heard. Intangibility would be a super cool power.
Now, so
Wait, what was that?
Intangibility. You can't be seen. You couldn't be hit because it would just like phase right through you. The only problem is like that's a very good sneak around, take photos, whatever kind of investigative power.
Yeah.
But like you could, I don't. How do you beat someone with a power like that?
so
Well, I think it's just more like the sneak ability. Well, I'm not going to change it. So I already said what I said. Like, I just
You'd be
think,
a
like,
great reconnaissance
Yeah.
like hero.
I'd
Like
just be like,
getting information and
at the
stuff.
at the flick of a finger, like the movie Hollow Man. Like,
Dude, I was just gonna bring that up.
did you
Hollow
ever
Man.
see Hollow Man?
No.
Oh my
Dude,
gosh,
that's a great movie with Kevin.
That is
Kevin
a great
Bacon.
movie. Yeah, that's a great
Um,
movie.
Hollow Man, where bam, you're like as you step though, you can still see the silhouette of the step. I'm not going to change what I said because it's going back on what your ragdoll.
Well, yeah.
so fuck you.
It's a sign. It's a.
And then like
movie
So
basically
for keeping
about a
score, we have a
scientist-
rag doll and a hollow man.
There we go.
and I'm an invisible man that can like strike fucking like lightning on you. Bam.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Right,
Hollow Man is a
Sorry,
great
that's
movie.
the
Have
best
you
I
seen
could
it?
come up with.
No,
It's about a scientist that figures out how to become invisible, right?
okay.
So he becomes invisible, and like he like basically becomes evil, right?
Yeah, he
it's like kind of like a horror movie. Like he starts to like kill people and shit.
But then at one point in the movie, Max, like they start like spraying like a water hose.
Yeah.
And then when the water comes on it, you can see his silhouette.
Yeah.
As he's like running towards you.
It's wild.
Yeah,
It's a good
pretty.
movie.
It's a pretty crazy fucking
It's a good movie.
Yeah, you guys have to watch that. But anyways, enough about. I want to hear. This was your guys' topic.
Yeah.
So,
It was
So
Doug's
what are
turn.
your guys' superheroes?
Well, if I can speak to it, because I kind of want to evolve the idea, because I like the idea you guys got going here, but I'm going to step it up with my own interpretation and say that it not being invisible, but teleportation.
That's a good one.
oh, okay.
Like if you guys see the movie Jumper, yeah, like
Ooh,
you know,
no,
or-
I haven't seen that.
that's a good. You should watch that movie. But
Damn.
like you know, because just my own point of view, being invisible, really cool. But also to me, it has the added aspect of being like really like tiring, because you still have to physically go all these places you want to go, like you know, or if you want to sneak into somewhere like secret, there's still all these physical barriers around you. And like, how are you gonna try to like climb over the barbed wire fence and get fucked up or something? You know, if you
you
could
could
teleport in, and then like it doesn't be there for a flash, and you go somewhere else if you want. You just see what's going on, and you go somewhere else. You can wear like a mask and a hoodie or something, and they'll be like, "Who the fuck is this guy? We have no idea who he is."
So are we talking teleport through time and space, or just space?
I'm purely
You're like-
talking about
you're-
space. Like
you're-
it's just around.
You're
Okay.
like Jensen checkout. Boom.
Yeah.
like,
home.
oh my gosh, this
Yeah.
missile's gonna hit me. I'm gonna travel to China.
Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah. So that aspect, and I'm only in my own opinion, I'm just using one.
And then on the other side, you become a ragdoll.
I picked a superhero or capability plus like an anti. I don't know why I chose lightning, but it is what it is. I don't know. Like, what's your defense? Like, what's your
I mean, that's just one. That's one that I've actually put a good deal of thought in this for whatever
dude?
reason.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Yeah.
And
I want to hear it.
It's just one of those things where like you could like so if you see the movie Jumper, like he like jumps and like teleports like into like a bank vault and like steals all the money, and like they got no fucking idea because the door never opens, And then he gets to go around, do whatever he wants, and like he can go into places, he can go out of places, like, and then there's like fight scenes where he can like move around like all kinds of different
He's just
ways.
like, pew, pew,
Yeah. And
Okay,
at
yeah,
a
yeah.
certain point, there's really no defense against somebody like that in terms of someone is trying to harm you. I mean, they can shoot at you and stuff, but if you can move around enough, teleport around enough, like that.
Like it should be enough of a distraction to like to move around. Okay, so that's. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. All right, Doug.
All right, so I've thought long and hard about this as well. And there are like two powers that I've always thought of that would be really cool. One, which would not be the power I chose, but for the sake of argument, I'd like to talk about, would be being able to control like the gravity of things. So like, so like I take Jensen, right? Jensen weighs 230 pounds, let's say. But if I could control the gravity of him, I could make him weigh 5 pounds, and if I punch him, I send him flying like however far like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And then I could, and then
ragdoll.
I know, but
doesn't
then
care.
no.
Max,
But then
it's-
it's, but then no, Max, the ragdoll sucks.
As I'm flying through the air, I'm a ragdoll, and I hit, and I'm limp.
Okay,
and then I'm real
and that's fine. But
again.
then I'm saying, but like if you
That's what
control
I'm
the
saying.
gravitational pull of things, then you make yourself
you
light.
kinda have a
You can
fucking
fly.
point.
You make you increase the gravitational pull. Someone tries to hit you, but you weigh 10,000 pounds. But that's not the power I choose. The power I would personally choose, as much as I would like love to fly and be super strong and all that stuff, is still like super speed. Because when I really think about it defensively and things like that, is you can get to places insanely fast because you have super speed. But I always think about it as like sort of having the ability to react to things. Like if you can teleport and stuff like that, that's all well and good. But you can only teleport so fast. You react at like the speed of a normal human. But if you have super speed and someone decides to like pull a trigger on a sniper rifle, and you can like hear the sound or whatever, you can react fast enough to actually like get out of the way, figure out what's going on.
Right. Yeah,
it's all
kinda
about like the reactionary speed, and then
like the Matrix,
yes,
like, where he's
exactly. So you have like the defensive capabilities with super speed, but you also have the offensive capabilities. Like you can punch if you don't have super strength, you can still punch the dude 100 times in 1 second, and it's like it's over.
Now,
Oh man, good. Oh,
Dude, the ragdoll defeats all this shit.
no,
I'm just
Max,
saying right
the
now.
ragdoll is going to be
Max, I would use my super speed and run the ragdoll into a volcano.
There you go. See how the ragdoll does there.
Okay, damn it, the volcano.
There is no defense.
getting out of the volcano.
You can't die, but you can live in the magma
volcano
forever.
doesn't exist.
The
Don't worry about
magma
it.
burns
No.
up the ragdoll.
Dude, you're so burned.
Yeah,
Fuck
dude.
you guys.
Max, come
Liquefied,
come
bitch.
ready to play next time.
Liquefied.
But yeah, so I mean, personally, for me, I think super speed is just. But we're talking like super speed.
So you like the
yeah.
Flash. So
Yeah, like the
The
Flash.
flat. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Now, in your personal scenario here, could you do what the Flash does and like go like run so fast like to go back in time or something?
I could, but I wouldn't.
You wouldn't.
No.
Okay. Well, I
Hey, hold on.
I mean, I may be tempted because I could, but I still wouldn't because that causes all kinds of problems in the timeline.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
but-
hold on. I changed my superheroes.
Okay.
now. My super.
You
My.
cannot change.
Okay, you can if you're not stuck to your horrible idea.
God damn it, dude. My idea is the best.
I want to.
As long as it's better than a rag doll.
Dude, my ragdoll is
I want to
decent.
become the what is it? The T-1000.
Oh, the Terminator, like the liquid metal
The
one?
liquid metal guy. Yeah,
That's
dude.
a good one.
Hey, dude.
That's a good
He
one.
gets like blown apart, and then he's like,
Like just like like in
But-
yeah,
just
comes
like-
back together.
That's
But
a good
I
one.
could use my super speed to throw into a volcano because, as you remember,
oh,
he
okay.
threw him into a hot
Fuck
pit.
your volcano. Fuck off.
Doug, there aren't
know
even
what?
that many volcanoes.
I just
Okay.
the thing is
I
like
think
if
he
a
did
dude.
die.
Okay, here's the
I'll
problem.
make the
If
argument.
if
Hold
you
on,
can
hold
move
on.
that fast, who
Hold
can
on.
stop you? That's all
Hold
I'm
on.
saying.
Hold on. I'll make the argument that my ragdoll is so light that the moment you go lightning speed, I'm just left in the dust because I weigh nothing.
But
I'm
what
a
if I?
ragdoll?
But that makes it easy. I just grab onto you and you weigh
No.
nothing, and I just pull you wherever I want.
No. I'm so light that it's just like.
Hey, but I do like the T-1000.
know what I mean?
Like he
So
can
I'm good to go.
replicate people like
Yeah.
as he touches.
Okay.
Like I could become Jensen, and be like, oh hey mom.
Hey, Mom, that's Sparky the dog.
She'd never fall for that. No. No, I mean, I'll tell you what.
And then become like morphs into different like
Yeah.
weapons and stuff.
I mean, I
Even morph into the ragdoll.
I think what this whole conversation is, what you have to think is this a world where a lot of people have superpowers and you're trying to fight people, or is this a scenario where it's
You're
just
the
you
one and
have
only.
powers? Because let's be honest, like, what would be cooler than being able to just take off
Bro.
and fly
Yeah,
somewhere?
you
There's
know-
really nothing cooler than
It's
that.
gonna be Avengers and the ragdoll.
So okay. So I think that three of us have a good idea about superpowers, but no, you know what, Doug? That's a good point because I certainly would change mine. I think if it was just me versus like it was a world full of like a Marvel universe.
If there were
Yeah.
other beings that had powers.
Because it's certainly, teleporting is cool, but, I can't get beat to shit like Thor can, and he's
Yeah.
still okay.
Yeah, the more you dig into it, like you're. Damn it, Doug. Asshole.
You're making us think over
asshole
here,
move.
man.
Oh, yeah.
Invisibility would never be a bad power, though, if people couldn't figure out how
Dude,
to find you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, ragdoll is all the way, man.
Max,
Max,
but let you
just
change your power if you
stop.
want to
Yeah,
give up
Max,
the rag doll.
Just stop.
What's your
Oh my
secondary
God.
power? It has to be better than your first one.
Secondary power. That's a good point. Curses. Curse you
What?
like a voodoo doll.
So
Okay.
basically, overall, like Max would be a voodoo doll.
So
He's either a rag doll
I'm a
or he
voodoo
curses
doll
you.
and a rag doll. You fuck me.
Wait, no,
I'll
okay,
fuck
wait,
you
wait.
over
Max the
the
Cajun
same way.
superhero.
There you go, dude. That's perfect.
He is the
you-
raging Cajun.
Yeah.
He's just going to live in the
rip-
swamps of Louisiana for some reason.
You rip my arm out, your arm gets ripped.
Hold
out.
on, wait, hold on.
Fuck
Hey,
you.
hey, hey,
How
wait.
about that?
Max,
Oh, dude, that's
how are
Hey,
you- how are you
okay.
gonna
Hold on,
curse
hold on.
the
All
T-1000?
things aside, though, like that would actually be sweet if he became the voodoo doll of the person he was fighting.
Okay, but
Like
you,
the damage you do to him happens to you.
Damn.
That's
So-
cool. That's cool. I'll give him that.
So
I'll
that-
give him that.
that is cool.
What, are you gonna stab yourself in the heart, and then they're like, "Oh,
okay,
No, they have to do it. They have to do it to me.
Max.
To count.
Okay,
ew."
okay, that is a good idea. But you just said that you'd become a voodoo doll of yourself, or you what? Somebody else?
No, of whoever attacks me.
Max,
So if
it's
they
just
don't-
a bitch move, dude.
So
This is just a
if they
bitch
did,
move.
so
Oh, you're pissed off that I outdid you.
so no, Max's superpower is
Bitch.
just to get
Look,
is
I kind of
just to
came
take
up with that.
abuse.
Let's be
Hey,
honest.
no.
Max's only superpower is to take abuse at this
Eddie is
point. That's-
pissed off that I outdone the T1000 or what was it?
T1.
That-
We
or
think it's a
T-
T1000.
or T.
Or, yeah, the
2000. I don't know what the
Terminator-
fuck
I
it
think
is
it's
called.
T1000 because I think Arnold Schwarzenegger was like a T800 or something like
Yeah,
that.
so he was an older model. So you're talking about
This
like
is
the second one?
Yeah.
the liquid mod.
The guy, the police officer guy
Yeah,
who
the cop,
ran really
yeah.
fast.
Yeah,
And then
that's-
he like made these like spikes that came out of his hands, and he's
Looks like I won
Yeah.
this debate.
and then he got his head like blown off with the shotgun, and then he's
Yeah.
like, all crazy.
yeah,
and
his
then he
head's
morphs
like all
back
like,
into-
"Ooh."
and then he
It's like all like over here, and it goes like,
and then he got frozen,
Yeah.
and then he
like liquid nitrogen. They
Schwarzenegger,
like blew him
fucking-
up.
The only way
Blew
to
his
kill him
ass
was
up
liquid hot
into-
magma. Liquid hot magma. That was
Austin
what is it, Doctor
Powers.
Evil? That was a Doctor Evil nod.
Okay. All right.
I just want
sharks
sharks.
with lasers attached to their heads.
I just want some freaking sharks with laser beams attached to their freaking heads. And then I want to drop them in liquid hot magma.
Okay. All right.
All right.
I think we need to get out the superhero topic. We've gone.
All right. You can go down the rabbit hole with me.
Max, you're just
know what?
beating a fucking dead horse
Max,
with that
Hey,
drag doll
I
shit.
came up with an idea, an
All right.
original idea, by the way.
It's a unique idea, that's for sure. I'm not.
It's a B-rated movie idea. God damn it!
Yes, that is definitely a straight to VHS DVD.
Yeah, that's like one of those like Amazon Prime movies where like you never heard of them before, and you're like, is this actually a real movie? I have to.
Is this? Did they make the? Is this Bollywood?
yeah, right. Who made this movie?
Dude, I always made it. Okay, so here's the next topic that I
Okay.
could talk about. If you won the lottery, what would you do? So I'll start with me. If I won the lottery.
Okay, the big question is how much? How
Yeah,
much
okay,
is this
yeah,
lottery?
what's-
How much is the purse?
Well, what's the
How
size
much
of the lottery?
money? You need
No,
to know.
I'm talking about like life, like never working again.
No,
money.
But
yeah,
we need
yeah,
to know the amount of
yeah,
money. That's
put,
important.
Put some parameters on it.
Well, like $1 billion.
$1 billion.
yeah,
$1 billion?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or,
Okay,
okay,
let's-
How about like 300 million?
$300
Okay.
million,
The
all
Mega
right.
Million. You win the Mega
yeah.
Millions.
Okay, so we got $300 million. All right.
Yeah. Okay, so what I would do is I would make the Ragdoll movie, B-rated movie. I'd make B-rated movies.
And no one would see it.
No, that's what I would do. I'd make B-rated movies, man.
I mean, I'd invite you guys to go see it with me, and
yeah, that's what I would do. B-rated movies. What would you guys do? With
Okay,
300
What would I do
million?
with $300 million?
Wait, hold on. Okay, if you move on from the ragdoll thing, for some
No,
reason
but
I
I would
shouldn't have
make
to say that.
B-rated
But,
movies. Doesn't mean I'm just making just
no, but
none of
okay,
that
so
ragdoll shit.
you make the ragdoll movie. How much does it cost?
Probably $100,000.
$100,000. Okay, now what do you do with the other
I'd make another
$299 million?
I'd make another movie.
You're gonna waste all your money on B movies?
Yeah,
Why?
because it'd be fun.
Why not make like one A movie?
No, man,
No?
you gotta do. No.
I would
you
just. I would
you
invest my
gotta-
money and try to
you
live
gotta
off the
do-
interest.
Yeah.
You gotta do like the most fun, balls to the walls, just B-rated movies, and just like have fun, man.
How hard is it to spend $300 million?
Well,
It would be pretty hard, man.
I would say. Yeah, I would say definitely.
$300 million is a lot different. That'd be pretty tough.
So okay, so Doug, so what would you do?
What would
you
I do?
Yeah.
I would probably if I had $300 million, I would buy a piece of real estate in all of my favorite areas, a great piece of real estate,
Okay.
and then aside from that, I'd maybe buy like 2 or 3 cars that I really liked, and then I'd set up some sort of trust, whatever I could do to make like the taxable value be like less when my kids inherited my money.
Okay.
That's all I'd need. Cool cars, cool houses. That's
Would
about
you
it.
would you travel around or like?
I mean, I suppose I would have a some amount of disposable income and I would travel around. But I mean,
Like-
I really want to like set myself up to where I just could live off the interest of my money or just like keep going the rest of my life without having to do much. I mean traveling would be cool, but
Like
the big thing I think I'd invest in like real estate in certain areas.
Okay.
And I mean, with $300 million, you don't really need to worry too much about the market because if you have that much money, you can afford to spend it. Like, and like $1 million home in Idaho is insane. Like I could get the
Yeah.
coolest home in Idaho. I could get a home in California for $3 million. I could get a home in wherever. But even if I bought 10 homes, that's still not going to be $300 million. That's going to get me to the that's going to get me to the maybe $5 million mark, $6 million mark. So I think real estate would be like the big thing you'd want to do because if you could buy it outright, then you own that stuff. And like aside from that, then I just basically want to set up like future generations for success, set up a trust, something like that.
That's fair. I mean, I think. Well, me personally, I win the lottery. I certainly would give. I would give my parents enough money where, like, they didn't have to work or do anything the rest of their lives. Like, they're good. That's the first thing I do. First of all, I wouldn't tell anybody. There'd be, like, very few people that knew I won this lottery. I set my parents up. maybe my two brothers. We'll see. Whatever. But, and then I think the thing well, first of all, then I would go to flight school. I've always wanted to go to flight school, fly helicopters. I would do that. And then I would invest it, you know, I would get someone who knows how to invest it, and then I'd have them invest it for me because what do I know about investing?
Can I add one more thing to
Sure,
mine?
yeah, go ahead.
I would buy a 12,000 square foot space, and I would hire Eddie Wilson to be the CrossFit coach. And he would create the most dominant CrossFit gym of all time.
Eddie Wilson CrossFit.
Well, that's funny you mentioned that because I was gonna say I would build the Nampa's like sickest gym, like not the big, like we're not talking like here. Oh, dude, you just opened up a rabbit hole, my friend.
Oh my! I wasn't even done.
Well, let's let Jason finish.
All right,
then when we get to you, we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah.
Proceed.
So I said, flight school, my parents, my family, whatever. I would definitely buy. I'm with Doug. I buy some property, some places that I like to go. You know, I love Hawaii. You know,
Oh, there you go.
chocolate.
Yeah, dude. Yep, absolutely. I could see you doing that for sure, man.
And then, this might sound weird, but I have always wanted to own a couple of like food franchises, maybe. Big fan of Wingstop. You know, I would bring an In-N-Out burger to Idaho. I know they're working on it right now, but I would do that.
That'd be your mission.
That'd be my mission. Like I know people aren't a big like In-N-Out. I feel like it's mixed reviews from people because there's a lot of hype around it. But it's nostalgic and I love it. So I would bring it to Idaho and I'd own a couple of In-N-Outs because for some reason I've always wanted to do that. And then I would I travel. I like to do a lot of things. There's a lot of really cool places in the world I've never been. I'd love to do that. So but definitely take care of my family. Get a couple places I like to stay. And then food franchises, and then whatever I want to do. I want to go skydiving. I want to go work out at Eddie Wilson's gym. Whatever I want to do. And then
That's
I think, well, and then yeah. So that's what I would do. That's what I would do with my money. So.
All right. What about you, Eddie?
Oh, damn. If I want a good lump sum of money, honestly, I don't think my life would change a whole lot.
Would you still work? Would you still work your 9-to-5 job?
Honestly, I would probably I might go part-time just to keep myself busy. Go part-time, working.
Now,
until I opened up my own gym.
Okay.
But let's dive a little bit more into that, right? So, ultimate gym right here.
Okay.
Here's what it is. So, get just a decent size location. Nothing too crazy because there's a science behind that. like set it up, huge like rig, bunch of weights, whatever, kettlebell, like just like forfeit it out, ski ergs, rowers, whatever. A gym is not going to make you like a ton of money, but it's like a true passion of mine for sure. But here's what would make my gym different is I would outfit every single person that was like committed with like some sort of a mountain bike, and I would have some property in the back, and I would make first and foremost like a running track with obstacles, and then on top of that I would have like a mountain bike, like a mountain bike little trail going around, like hey, for time, like and I'll have all the bikes like set up, like when you do a workout, bam, you grab your mountain bike and you do like one lap around the trail, and then you come back in and you're doing like sandbag like clean and jerks or whatever the fuck it might be, like just like the most dynamic gym that you can, and but still make it affordable, because I understand that like just because I made all this money doesn't mean that everyone in the house has to level up with me. You know what I mean?
And
like,
I think, can I just chime in?
Yeah.
I think a really cool thing about that is if you won the lottery and something like that, a gym would be cool because Eddie could just afford all of the stuff. He could just buy it outright. He doesn't have to take out a loan for the gym. He's not paying rent on the gym. He could buy the space. He could buy all the equipment. Yeah. So like he wouldn't have to charge as much in rent and stuff like that. He would just be making money off of his initial investment.
I still make like the membership like feasible, whatever it was, because I was blessed with this amount of money, but I can invest in like 50 mountain bikes, and like hey, today we're gonna do this, and like have a running track with obstacles and like walls to climb over, like miniature terrain races. We wouldn't do that every single day, but you know what I mean?
You work it in there, and it's like it's one of those like extremely unique situations. Yeah.
Is that Devin? Oh, must be Devin. No, but I just make B-rated movies. Not like trying to be all like successful or famous or anything, but it'd be fun,
Well, Max, would you be the director?
Oh yeah, I would do everything. I'd be the director, the producer.
Okay.
Hire the actors, actresses, and just make like just movies. And see what sticks, what doesn't stick. Probably most of it wouldn't stick, but it'd be a fun time doing it.
I'm with you on that one, Max, in the sense that it would be fun for you.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
I'm not sure it'd be a good movie.
It wouldn't be like it may not be successful, but it might be. You never know.
It could be, and you know what?
It'd be something.
I could see that. I can understand what you're talking about. That
That'd be
I
fun.
think after listening to you talk, that could be a fun experience to do.
Yeah.
Like make your own movie. Like you don't even, like you got all the money you need, so it's like you don't have to make anybody else have it but yourself.
But dude, like if you think about it, B-rated movie, I mean, it would probably only cost like $100,000, $100,000,
$100,000
or $100,000.
That's a candy bar, Max.
But shut up. But it probably only costs like $100,000, and that's like nothing compared to like $3 million.
Well, I mean, you could
$300 million is an absurd amount of money.
It is. I mean, so to be fair, I'm trying to think. So I read a book about the making of the movie The Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 1974. And that is like, according to what I've read, it's a horror icon movie, and the making was nuts, in my opinion, but...
But what is going on here? Oh my gosh!
Oh my god!
No! Well, that's the guest. That's the guest. Yeah. Do you want to say something?
How you doing?
Oh my gosh! What is going on here? Oh my!
Hey,
what is going
can
on
we
here?
like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre thing? I would like to continue on that though, because I was going to say.
Let's do it. Hey, Devin. Hey, good to see you, man.
Good to see you. Yeah.
What's up, man?
What's up?
Anybody need a beer? I'll take it. Are we over here?
Are you not? You don't think the high life? I'm living the high life. That's real beer.
It's a champagne of beers right there.
It's got a little.
Party tonight.
I was wondering, I'm like, man, Mardi Gras or what's going on?
They were at a party. We were just on Bourbon Street, man. We just came over.
Just no big deal.
Just a bunch of titties.
Here, say something.
What do you want to talk about?
I don't know.
Well,
just say
Jensen,
something.
keep going. Keep going. Sam.
Oh man,
Who's this guy?
we were
Yeah,
going.
we just
We're
got
getting to a
back
really good point
from
right
the
there.
celebration of the 100 years of the Caldwell Elks Lodge.
Right.
For 1448. We had a great time.
I think maybe we should have ended the podcast
To the podcast.
and just party.
Yeah, we had a good time.
All right. I think Jensen. Let's just finish up the Texas Chainsaw Massacre thing. and
Okay.
then-
So what were we talking about?
Okay. Money. B-rated movies. 1974 Texas Chainsaw
Okay.
Massacre.
So are we rolling?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still going.
Okay. Oh yeah. So I read a book about the making of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1974 movie, and that was extremely low budget. Like I think the guy who played Leatherface, like with the chainsaw, I think he got paid like $200, and that's like the kind of the going rate for the cast. So I mean, that's well under $100,000. They're probably like that's like a $30,000 budget right there.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I mean, they did everything they could as low budget as possible, and it still turned out to be like one of the icons of that genre and that era. And so, I mean, if you want to do a passion project for $100,000, dude, do it. I mean, that would be.
Well, no, that's what I was saying well, like the Blair Witch Project and like Napoleon Dynamite, those were low budget movies, and they ended up being successful.
Well, Napoleon Dynamite was actually I talked to someone about this. Napoleon Dynamite was a senior capstone project for BYU Film School.
Jeez. Well,
So it wasn't the film that was released theatrically. That wasn't what they initially did.
Okay.
But they basically took the BYU Film School idea and made it into a theatrical release. But I think John Heder got paid like $1,000 to be in that movie.
I mean, that was
it wasn't
wild
anything
movie.
significant. And also, I can attest to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre thing because Halloween, I think, which came out in 1978, like the most famous slasher movie of all time, that was a super low budget movie as well.
and really, those are two series that really like are. I mean,
Still relevant today.
still
yeah.
very relevant today. And you know, those were just people following their dreams, doing like something completely out of control.
So Max, if you want to make a movie about a rag doll, you do it.
Okay, well,
You're
whatever.
a ragdoll
Okay,
superhero.
shut up. Okay, did you want to say something?
So another movie that really started a whole another area is Night of the Living Dead. $56,000 and it was all townspeople that made the movie, and they couldn't afford color film, so they shot it in black and white. And that is now, I mean, the Dead.
The most iconic zombie movie of all time.
That's right. Yeah, Night of the Living Dead. Yep.
Okay. Okay, that's a good topic. So I remember about 10 years ago, I was helping out a friend, and I don't know. This was like during wintertime, during the nighttime. I went over to her house to like give her like the project that she needed or whatever. And then on my way home, it was very foggy, and I noticed I went the wrong way, so I did a U-turn, and I fell into a ditch. I like drove into a ditch, and I was fucked.
Okay.
And then basically we had to call the tow truck to like tow me out. Yeah, it sucked.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was cold too.
Was that it?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
it.
Fair
What
enough.
about you guys?
More recently, I remember this was probably about a year ago by now. I was driving home on the 84 with my wife. She was in her Subaru. I was in my truck. And we were about to cross the 10-mile exit. And I remember because we had just had a great dinner. And I was like, super excited to get home and have some dessert. And she got a flat tire right after I passed the 10-mile exit. So she got off, went off to where Salter Health is now. And I was pretty upset because I had to go all the way up to the Garrity exit, get off, turn around, come all the way back. I mean, I put her spare tire on, things like that. But yeah, that's the last time I had a breakdown. But my wife has really been the main cause why I've gotten good at putting on spare tires. Not so much myself, but her poor driving. You know how girls are. That curb came out of nowhere.
If I'm not mistaken, Max blew out a tire on Mom's car when it was like brand new. Had 100 miles on the car.
I swear to God, that curb came out of nowhere.
I mean, I haven't had any being stuck on the side of the road. I did have to change my car battery and my ex-wife's car's battery in like the same week. They both died, and I had to figure out how to change both of them myself. Bit of a learning experience, super fun. But I figured it out, not very complicated. But I did have a number of times being not necessarily stuck, but being in some crazy situations in the Army, driving vehicles around. We had someone stuck in the mud, and we had to tow them out. I had to tow them out myself. And then we had another time when it was so muddy, and so I was like the middle of the night, and it was muddy, and I was stuck in this field, maybe. And so I had to drive around in circles in the mud trying to find a way out of it. And I felt like I was going insane because it was dark and I couldn't see anything. So I was driving with like night vision, but I kept going in circles so I couldn't find a way out because we were like in this like ditch, like this like it's like a depressed field, I guess you call it. But I remember driving around and people were like, "Why are we still doing this?" And I was like, "I can't find a way out of it." And you can't see anything. It was pitch black. So I was like, man, eventually we did find a way out, but I remember thinking I was losing my mind because I was like, we're driving in circles all over the place, and I got no idea what's going on. That's my story.
Well, we want to talk about our boating incident last weekend, or 2 weekends ago. So this whole year I've been restoring an old bass boat that was given to us. It looks fantastic. It ran good until it didn't. So... So we're out at Lake Lowell, zooming across there, still not giving it full throttle. We're about 40 miles an hour, skimming across water, having a great time. We go into the birds sanctuary area where it's 5 miles an hour. We're trolling along good, and so I started to throttle back just to hang out, and the engine stops. Well, it isn't supposed to stop. So we just sat there for a little while. We're just coasting around. We're just like, okay, we'll just hang out for a while. We got to start it and go back. Well, we tried to, and then I'm getting a little nervous, so I'm like, okay, well, I gotta feel good. I gotta get it started again so that we can motor, out of the area. So we get it started. No problem starting it. It's got a little lever to give it some gas, but the minute you put it in gear, it stalls. I'm like, oh shit, okay. We're about 4 miles down water, and it ain't looking so good. So we have a little electric trolling motor on the front. So we send Eddie up to the bow of the boat to run the electric trolling motor so he can start working his way back to the ramp, which will take about a fucking day. So we're sitting there, and we decide, okay, well, we'll fix the motor now. What I'll do is I'll get it started, elevate the throttle a little bit so we can get it in gear, and then start going. Well, my mechanic's son takes the cover off, and I go, Eddie, when I start it, just give it some throttle. And he goes, oh, it's not working. It's not working. It's not going fast. I'm like, okay, something's going on here. So we start monkeying with the controls. Next thing we know, we screwed them up. Now it won't go into neutral, so you can't use the starter. So the neutral safety switch isn't working. So anyway, now we're really stuck. And I didn't want to call and have the sheriffs tow us back to the frickin' dock, That just looks embarrassing. So there's an emergency pull start rope in this. Now this is almost a 200 horsepower engine. You don't think you can pull start that son of a bitch, but you can. and I got it started. Again, though, it wouldn't go into... Now it won't go into gear. It's running, but it won't go into gear because we mucked with the controls. So I actually have to get inside there and elevate the throttle and then reach down inside there and force it into gear. Finally, after a while, after a couple different starts, we get it going, and we're like, we're not stopping. We're just going to go head back in. So we're looking good in this nice finished bass boat with a cover off, the motor's bare, and we're all just sitting there kind of embarrassed, like, oh, shit, well, I hope this thing makes it back to the shore. And it did. It did. But people were waving to us. We're like, oh, how goddamn embarrassing is that, right?
Don't wave at us.
And Kathleen's just sitting in the back of the boat going, oh, man, we're having a good time. Yeah, he's just...
I'm going to give a shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Kill me? What did I do?
Because we're like, put it in gear. You're like, which way does it go? Like, just move the throttle forward. You're like, it won't move. We're like, oh my God.
It wasn't that
man.
bad, okay? It wasn't that. That was only a few times, okay?
We've been hearing differently, Max.
Ragdoll.
But it was a lot of fun.
Eddie over
He was ragdolling that boat, right?
Eddie over exaggerates everything.